Good day, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. This is Viper's Survivorland, and I'm back here again in Chaos Child. We didn't just have a short failed stream where Optimum dicked us over. Don't worry about it. We're here. Also, hey, Ramen, Soar, Grim, and Seventh. How's everyone doing tonight? Honestly, I don't think that was Optimum. That easily could have been just a miscommunication between the servers. Maybe it was just the router. It's been windy all day, but I restarted the computer, I restarted the router. We seem okay. So we're just gonna, if you want to trust in K fully, it's under $10 on PC right now on Steam. You can buy that game for under $10 until tomorrow when the sale ends. So yeah, yep, games, it's like $8.50, something along those lines, the full game. It's there, you could just buy it. So yeah, we'll go through this again. We technically had gotten like 2 pages ahead, but I wanted to have the archive complete, so we just popped back. The 3 suspicious deaths in Shibuya this month line up with the dates of New Generation Madness. A 4th death is predicted to occur on 10/10. New Generation Madness, holy shit, first, seriously, thread archived. Oh yeah, hell yeah, it's happening, GIF. Somebody call me. With eyes. Okay, it's so smart. Oh man, I'm getting goosebumps. Wow, it was real. How did no one notice? Summary of K's podcast. The dates of New Generation incident 6 years ago match with 3 deaths so far. If the pattern continues, something will happen in 10/10. 09-2009 group dive. 07-2015 don't look at me. 9-19-2007 pregnant man. This is what happens when I try to go too fast. 9-19-2015 leaky noise. 9-29-2009 crucified. 9-29-2015 love hit incident. 10-10-2009 vampire. 10-10-2009 question mark. Festival time. No time to eat. Yeah. Let the carnival of miracles begin. New gen. Is it true? Isn't that scary as shit? If you want to know more about the third, I want to know more about the 3rd death. Was it as nasty as the leaky noise? Okay, you're so smart. Let's get married. Whose eyes are those eyes? I got so excited listening to Shibuya News. I fabbed to her voice 3 times. Could do it twice more. I had the same feeling. I think this means another earthquake's coming. I want to see Esper's 6 years ago in front of the station. I was in college yet. I'm now unemployed and stay at home all day. The fun's about to start again, huh? Shibuya's doomed. I'm K's dad. This means they'll cancel the Restoration Festival. You guys make a mistake. People are dead. What the fuck are you so happy about? That's the internet. Don't look at me. I call BS. I thought K was smarter than this. I'm disappointed. It's been 6 years and it's time to drag them at this out again. It's Return of the New Generation Madness and I can't bear it. Return of the Nude Generation Madness. Don't look at me. Return of the Nude Generation Madness. Leaky noise. Return of the Nude Generation Madness. Name coming soon. To be continued. Oh. Hot cocoa is delicious. I have a bunch of hot cocoa and it is shockingly cold here tonight. I should have 0 dropped frames. I should have made hot cocoa too. I made tea instead, and you know, tea is delicious. Also, if it seems like Mountain View is going to be the soda of choice here, I might have to pick one up for next week and just, I haven't had a Mountain Dew in years, and years and years and years. I basically OD'd on Mountain Dew in college, and I've lost a lot of my taste for it since then. Maybe next week. I drank a lot of Mountain Dew my freshman year. See, Mountain Dew itself is okay. Mountain Dew Code Red, that was where it was at. That's the problem. The problem wasn't Mountain Dew. The problem was Code Red. The problem was my college didn't have Mountain Dew Code Red, but they had Mountain Dew and they had Hawaiian Punch. And that's basically what Mountain Dew Code Red is. And I got the ratio down pretty good back in college. It wasn't exact. It wasn't bad. Shibuya Police Station. Could you please just tell me your name and address already? Oh, I've technically had a Baja Blast. More recently than that. Not recently. Because I don't go to Taco Bell often, but whenever I'm there, I just grab it. The buffering's not on my end. If you're getting buffers, it's that one's you. Right now, we are rock solid on my end. Would you please just tell me your name and address already? Are you a student, or do you have a job? You went to that hotel with that man, Kakita, many times, right? How did you know him? Were you dating? 2.5-second buffers, still weird. If you don't want to talk, feel free to just nod or wave your hand. Just tell me. Yeah, honestly, Baja Blast was one of those things I would have just because it was like, you couldn't really get it elsewhere. I think you can now, though. And it was kind of just part of that Taco Bell experience. Again, I don't go to Taco Bell often, but when I do, it's just like, why not? The officer sank back into a chair in resignation. Shinjo could sympathize.
なるほどな。
I see. He'd just come to check on her a moment ago, but they'd been probably doing this since yesterday. Locked in an interrogation room, cut off from the outside world, and questioned by multiple officers, most people would lose their cool. They'd start to wonder what effects their words were having, and focus on every movement of the officer who was taking down notes. It wasn't hot in the room, but they'd sweat. I've cut back a lot in the past several months, but I clearly drink soda. But this girl didn't respond at all. Like, almost every single night you see me streaming now, this is tea. But like, around the start of 2020, when things were getting bad, pretty much every night it was Dr. Pepper. Pretty much every night. I'd have a bottle of Dr. Pepper, and like, that's not sustainable. That's not great. Now, I have a Dr. Pepper on Wednesdays for D&D when we go to Burger King. But I have maybe 1-2 drinks of a soda a week, as opposed to every night. So that's better. Probably wasn't because she was used to it. If she'd ever been interrogated before, the fingerprints they'd taken would have told them who she was.
新庄さん
Not even Okurian drank Dr. Pepper every day. Are you sure? I mean, I'm sure he did. Shinjo?
やはり連れて
Maybe
行
we
った
should
方
take her
が
to a mental hospital, you mean? Well, yeah, in Zero, sure. It made sense. The natural assumption was that the shock of the incident had incapacitated her. Shinjo nodded, as if considering it.
捜索願いは
Any missing persons reports? This was the second day since the incident. If she lived in a normal family environment, someone should have submitted a missing persons report by now.
洗いました
I checked, but no luck. Yeah, he was basically off of it. Shinjo watched the girl as he listened to her talk. But the girl didn't move a muscle.
家庭のことを言外
Even
に
mentioning
含
her
ませて
family didn't get us anywhere, huh?
か
Normal ways weren't going to work then. She'd be sent to the hospital by dawn at this rate.
ご苦労さん
Thanks, I'll
こっ
take
ち
care
で
of her.
留
You
置
can
しておく
go.
からもういいよ
The other officer couldn't hide her happiness as she left the room. Some people just don't want to be doing this. Shinjo sat down in the chair she'd been sitting in and took a good look at the girl from the front. She was ignoring him and still looking down at the desk. She didn't even seem to notice or care that the person in front of her had changed. Shinjo remembered his conversation with Momose. After he'd hung up, she'd called back in precisely 3 minutes, just like she'd promised. And then she'd said, "My kid has a message for you," is what she says. Is that all? What does that even mean? Just ask her. If she reacts like you just did, or doesn't say anything, then I'm sorry, but that psychiatric hold is your only option. But if she reacts some other way, contact me again. It's definitely going to be whose eyes are those eyes, right? Right? The message didn't make much sense, but he didn't see any other way.
一つ聞きたい
I'd
こ
like
と
to
が
ask you a question. There was no response, of course. He continued, uncertain if she was even hearing him.
君は持っているものに気づかれなかっ
Did
た
you
の
have it
か
and they didn't realize it, or did you never have it?
どっちだ
Which is it? Okay. No, that's not the question I expected. Okay. They call it different here. Oh, but they don't in the @channel post. It still says exactly whose eyes are those eyes. Her eyes moved. Instead of looking down at the desk, she was looking at Shinjo. Shinjo was surprised, but did his best to hide it.
どうなんだ
Well? The girl stared at him as if trying to figure him out. And then a moment later,
誰なんですか
who are you?
あなたは
Her words were quiet but sharp. It was the same tone of voice that Shinjo used when he was interrogating a subject.
ここの刑事だ
I'm a detective here at the station. What's your name? She seemed to be thinking about something as she stared at him. Her mannerisms were just like his own, again. It was the same way a detective faced a criminal trying to gain every scrap of information from what he could see. And then she slowly opened her mouth.
有村ひなえ
Hinae
碧宝学園の学生です
I'm a student at Hekiho Academy. Of course you are. Everyone goes to that school. Everyone important in this game, at least. You know, the school. Everybody goes to the school. I left the motorhome where I lived alone, and only then did I realize that it was evening. The sunlight must have been pouring into my room, but I hadn't noticed. I didn't really remember when I'd gone to sleep or when I'd woken up.
大丈夫
It's okay, right?
だな
I looked around and made sure that none of the scenery had changed, then walked up the steps in front of me. Miyashita Park was just a few minutes' walk away from Shibuya Station. It was also known as Homeless Park. This is where I lived after I left the dorm. The first floor was a huge parking structure, and the second story had a futsal field and a climbing wall. It had been mostly abandoned during the recovery efforts after the Shibuya earthquake. After the quake, people who'd lost their family or who had never had any family to begin with gathered here en masse. Mitake Park, which was right next door, was supposed to be the evacuation point for this area, but Miyashita had always been a mecca for the homeless, so everyone gathered here. Excuse me. I don't know about all of Tokyo, but clearly all of Shibuya. Also, that game, Ghostwire Tokyo, takes place in a fully, like, PS5 version through, like, of Shibuya. Like, the same way that, like, Spider-Man takes place in, like, New York City. Ghostwire Tokyo apparently takes place, in Shibuya. In a fairly, from what I hear, fairly detailed, but, like, still, you know, video game version. I mean, some people care about the Oscars. That's cool. I mean, yeah, because we don't know Shibuya well enough yet. I think that's the thing. I think I'm contractually obligated at this point to play every game that takes place in Shibuya. I think it's getting to that point, isn't it? 2021 really cemented that. We just went from Shibuya to Shibuya to Shibuya to Shibuya in 2021. So much. When people gathered, so did things. Containers filled with food, blankets, and tents. Even the trailer for a motorhome that was left behind when its owner fled Shibuya. I mean, it's looking likely to. Really? I mean, it's going to. Kingdom Hearts will eventually happen. In Shibuya? Yeah, clearly. I mean, people still care about the video game awards. The awards part of the video game awards. So, like, of course people care about the Oscars. People want... The people who work on something want to be recognized for it, even no matter how quality or not the awards are. And the people who like something want to see that thing they like get recognition. Again, no matter how legit or not the actual award is. Can we just move to a Shibuya shipping container? Oh man, I've been watching a bunch of Mythbusters lately. A whole bunch of like older episodes. And every time they like bring in a full shipping container, I just want them to crack it open and just have just Taku inside with Eroge everywhere. Just like, huh? Obviously it didn't happen, clearly, but that would be a funny scene. That would be a funny scene. And every time I'm just like, eh. Every part of the park was overhauled to create a place for people to live. The parking lot, the futsal field, the climbing wall, etc. And the next thing anyone knew, there was a society there that was big enough that the government couldn't force them out. Then some groups of idiots came out to try and turn the place into temporary housing. That was shot down in less than a month. As a result, even though you could find beautifully rebuilt skyscrapers just a street away, Miyashita Park became one of Japan's biggest slums. Can I have this? I spoke to the man who sold newspapers, magazines, and everything else as I picked up a newspaper with today's date, October the 1st on it. No, he would definitely not be safe for, yeah. Oh, a tiny, tiny shipping container. Oh, Taku, I didn't see you buying newspapers often. Sure, take it. Can I? I've got plenty, and take a look. He showed me the snacks and alcohol at his feast. He must have sold a lot today. There were a lot of people in the park who had enough money that they could have stayed in a capsule hotel if they wanted to. No, if you're going to throw it away, do it somewhere else. They're getting annoying about garbage. I thanked him and went to leave. Hey, Taku, off to pay the electric bill? Yeah, that's right. Then pay mine too. Tell them it's from Maddie on the south side. He handed me a 1,000 yen bill. I nodded, took it, and headed deeper into the park with my paper. Oh, so his name was Maddie. Mayashita Park was divided into north and south halves by a road. If he said he was from the south, that must mean there was a Maddie on the north side who I hadn't met yet. Or who you had and you just never asked their name. The administrative office on the south side. Just like the name implied, it was where all the administration was done for Mayashita Park. It kept things peaceful between the government and the park occupants, resolved disputes between the homeless, and maintained all the faculties at the park. I knew the woman there by her face, but not her name. I gave her the electric bill, which was due on the 1st of the month, along with Maddie's part. Life in the park might seem carefree and lawless from the outside, but it was actually much stricter than you'd find in some families. Alright, thanks. Nobody's going over their territory or trying to move in, right? Everyone who lived on the outer rim of the park, including me, since I lived on the far south, had been asked by the management to keep an eye out for that. I think it's okay. When I looked earlier, I hadn't seen anything changing around my place. It's rough out there lately, so take care. If you see someone you don't know, tell me right away. Huh? You know about what happened in the Love Hotel, right? Oh, yes, I understand. Ooh, yeah, we do. I was startled, but quickly nodded. I suddenly felt like they were criticizing me for hiding something. The corridor that connected the north and south ends of the park. This place, looking down on Meiji Street, was the one part that hadn't really changed since before the earthquake. There were cracks here and there, but the government had forbidden people to put things here because it would ruin the view and might not be safe. I leaned up against the rail to spread open the newspaper with the setting sun shining down on me. There was a column on the front page about the Love Hotel incident, but no new information. There was nothing in the article about the girl who was found at the scene, or how things could be related to what happened 6 years ago. Had they not figured that out yet? Or maybe they had and they just weren't announcing it? Excuse me. If it had something to do with the incident 6 years ago, then so did Don't Look at Me and Leaky Noise. Did that mean that they weren't suicides? If the killer had driven them to suicide, then it was probably the same person behind the three incidents. But was he working alone or part of a group? Or maybe people who were related somehow to the incident 6 years ago were killing themselves one after another. Maybe I should look at what the 3 cases had in common again. Yeah. Great. Damn it, what the hell? My hand went up to the new bandage on my cheek. I rubbed it several times to make sure that it was still there. I definitely want to know what happened in that hotel room, both before they got there and even after they got there. Because while they were in, they heard the knocking. My head went up to the new bandage on my cheek. Yeah, you know, just... Before they got there, obviously some stuff happened. But like... Yeah, the door knocking, the door unlocked. It definitely doesn't seem like the girl on the floor would have gotten up, walked over to the door, unlocked it, walked back, gone back down to the floor. Seems unlikely. And the first 2 were fairly hands-off. Like, there was somebody pulling the strings of those and dropping suggestions and stuff, but it was still a one-person thing. One person ate their own hand. One person gutted themselves, put a speaker in and went to go play a concert. This is definitely a different one. Like, yeah, why was she there? And the way the guy died doesn't seem like that's something he could have just done to himself. It doesn't seem like something that was just the first 2 were very much, they did this to themselves. But I don't think that he could have rigged that up himself. So it already would have been weirder even if we just found out about it. But like, the actual having people in there, like the girl killed the cop. Oh, the cop didn't die, did he? He was just like choked. I don't think the other cop died. I could be mistaken. Like, And then they heard the knock while they were in there, even though the camera says that nothing happened. Like, obviously, delusional stuff. But, like, still, I want more details. I want to know. Then I got my smartphone. The data I'd recorded at the scene had been deleted by the police. Ah. Probably should have just counted myself lucky they didn't take the phone itself. And then he blacked out, and we don't know what happened between him blacking out and the police, like, they were in police custody. Something, let's be honest, something happened. But we don't know what at all. And the way, I mean, maybe this was just my assumption, mind you, but I assumed he fell backwards. I assumed he got scared and passed out backwards, but he's got a cut on his cheek. So that she was vomiting. Yeah, like, there was definitely questions about that whole thing. I mean, obviously there's the overarching what's going on, but like that one specifically is so weirder than the first two. I lost my biggest clue to the case. Maybe that's a clue that I should just give this up. Maybe that was just, yeah, maybe this was just out of my league. Maybe it was stupid to get involved. Oh, probably important photo. I like the inherent grunginess of a lot of the art of this game. Like, outside of the backgrounds, and I guess you could argue the characters, but like any of the still images just have this really like grungy, dirty feel, which really fits how dirty you feel playing the game. Then I got a call on my phone. I checked the name and hit the answer button. Yes, hello? Someone's dad? Yeah. Yes, hello? What? So we cut from Homeless Park to Anime Girl in what looks to be I was gonna say like a Starbucks, but it's got like manga covering the wall. So maybe like a Barnes & Noble? Somebody in the background with love written across their chest. There's definitely some sort of like gaming area. If you look by her like twin tail on the left, there seems to be a controller on the table. And it kind of looks like the guy, I mean, he could be on a smartphone too. That's just a jump. Yeah, the realistic people in the background. Is it you? They're here, at the usual seat. Thanks. As always, the waitress' appearances and manners were a mystery to me. I bowed to her and went to my seat. Oh, is it like an otaku cafe? Instead of a cat-made cafe or whatever, is it just... Sarika was there already, reading a manga. Maybe instead of like Starbucks where people go to like drink coffee and like study, it's a place where you go to like drink bubble tea and read manga. Yeah, but magical girls. She was fiddling with her Garo Froggy cell phone strap without realizing it, as usual. It really was a strange habit and a nuisance to the people around her. Man, that is... I have bad handwriting, and even I'm like, damn, that's bad handwriting. I can't make it out. And there's definitely writing on the boards, but most of it's inconsequential, it seems. I still can't tell what the guy... Oh, he's reading! He's got like a manga open. Okay. Cafe Lax, the preferred hangout of the newspaper club, was just a 10-minute walk from Shibuya Station. There you go. No, Ferris walks out, obviously, yeah. Despise maid cafes. Yeah, they tried to bring him to New York City. They didn't do well. I went twice. Way back when... Oh man, I say way back when, but it really was like a decade ago. Holy crap. Sandwich was working on a website at the time. It's not something they're working on anymore, but they wanted to have a place for lesser known manga people, especially like people in the West who make manga style manga, to have a place to post it, and they wanted a site for that. And they also wanted to expand to like other stuff too, so they literally had gone to this first maid cafe that opened in New York City to do like a quick interview. And because it's any excuse for a city trip, both me and Vespa had gone with. So we had been there. I've definitely told aspects of the story before, because that was the day they were holding a contest where the grand prize was going to be invited to like an idol group. And Vespa entered and made it to the finals. Yeah, Vespa won, actually, but that was just the pre. Vespa didn't plan on this. Vespa just knows the opening to Aquarion by heart and is a very energetic, enthusiastic person. So literally it was just like, hey, can I just sing this and dance along to it? And they're like, sure, whatever. So while Sandwich was doing an interview, Vespa just won, by the way. Had to come back later for other times, and that was the second time we went, when they were doing the actual finals for it. The Maid Cafe had already failed in its current location and had moved to a different place, still in New York City, and we'd gone to that second location, where they had a little stage set up and they did the actual finals. But because of GMI, the website, there were 2 times I'd been to the Maid Cafe. The first time we didn't actually sit or eat anything, they were just doing the interview. The second time we actually did, it wasn't bad, it was just weird. It's just so not an American thing. Like, it wasn't bad, I didn't hate my time, the food wasn't awful, no part of it was bad, it was just weird. It's just like, what do I do? What am I doing here? Hi, hello, like, I mean, I was there to support a friend at the second time, but you know. I don't remember what she was saying the second time. I've got it on video, but I don't, it was an old cell phone in a dark area, and I don't know if Vespa would want me to share it, so, but I could rewatch it. It was a garbage recording. It was terrible. I was no cameraman. I was just like, I'll record it on my phone. Other ways of making it strange for women. Yeah. Never been to a Hooters. I am aware of them. I know why they're popular. I know people will say their wings are good as an excuse. Oh, I've never actually been to one. I mean, I must have seen them around. I don't know where there is one around me, but I know I must have passed one at some point. We read that bit, okay. The owner was a manga fan, and the walls were lined with the stuff. Sonic had Hooters things once? Absolutely, yeah, that was Sonic Forces. They had an official collaboration. Yep. Oh, I hope they do. I legitimately hope they do. Like, I know there are definitely some people who would enjoy that type of work. Some people are like, hey, I'm hot, look at me. And if they can get paid extra money for that, good. Awesome. That's fantastic. Yeah, exactly. If that's if you're okay with it and you're making a lot of money from it, exactly, all power to them. I agree wholeheartedly. It's not a job I think I could do if there was a male equivalent to that restaurant, which would never succeed, by the way. But hey, if you can, and it makes you a ton of money, cool. All the power to you. Hell yeah. There was free Wi-Fi, the prices were good, and it wasn't crowded. You could sit there for hours as long as you bought a single drink. Yeah, so it's Starbucks but manga. Cool. Is that Bluetiful? I think is the name of the book in the center in the green. Magic Mike's Bar and Grill. True, that's fair. And host clubs in Japan. Yeah, but again, you're saying in Japan. We're talking about America. You're right. Clearly in Japan it works. To be a Hooters employee for my next job. I'll get right on it, yeah. The most important part was that since it was in a hard-to-find spot, barely anybody from Hekiho knew about it. So I didn't have to worry about running into anyone I knew. Was that girl the owner? As usual, there was barely anyone there. Excuse me. Just a single couple that appeared to be in college. I ordered my usual Mountain View and sat down. I'm gonna have to get a Mountain Dew for next week, aren't I? Oh, that's gonna be so weird. I haven't bought a Mountain Dew in like a decade. Not from like a store, at least. Again, occasionally when the Baja Blast went at So it's gonna have to happen at least once during this playthrough. Maybe not next week, but sometime before this game is done, we're going to have to do it. Mountain Mew? That's what they serve at the Maid Cafe, clearly. That's what Ferris serves. What are you reading? Oh, Taku. I'm not sure what this is. Huh? I just grabbed it off the shelf. Honestly, that can be the best way to find something. It's just like, that looked interesting. So Sarika went and put the manga back on the shelf, then came and sat down. Oh, well now you'll never remember what it is. Meowton Mew. Damn it. Here, this is your uniform. Nan told me to clean it, so I did.
悪いな。
Thanks. I took the bag containing my uniform from Serica. It was a uniform that had gotten covered with blood at the Love Hotel.
今日
How did
学校
you get the blood out? Did you go to school today?
言ってないよ。
Nope,
Taco
neither
Bell,
did you,
huh?
right? I nodded. I hadn't felt like it at all.
のんちゃんたちに連絡は
Mitts! We haven't seen this one in a while. The best one. Hello, Mitts. Thank you so much for the perfect amount of bits. Also, congratulations. For those who didn't know, Mitts got married last night. Mitts now is forever with a husbando, and Zelf is forever not maidenless. So, massive congratulations. Objectively best bit alert. Yeah. There are other ones I like, but I can't dispute that is objectively the best bit alert. It just is. So yeah, massive congratulations to Mitts, who definitely didn't get super drunk after the ceremony and start posting in the Discord. No, Mitts would never do that. Yeah, very. Screech during the ceremony. I hope it went well. Like, I imagine it did. It seems like a happy time. You and Zelf are obviously fantastic, so I can't imagine it was anything but a great time, but big congrats. Also, welcome to Viperland in the chat, and also thank you for the bits. Oh yeah, I mean, aren't we all to some degree? Like, to some, obviously some more or less than others, but like, understandable. But I mean, that's what makes it best, yeah. I feel like especially at weddings, people know. We'll let go of the bouquet. Mine, my flowers. Did you contact None and Ito?
メールはしといた。
Sent them a text. When I got up this morning, I sent both of them a text saying I was okay. They both sent back responses almost immediately, but neither of them said much about what happened. They probably weren't mentioning it for my sake.
で、
So, how are you doing?
Doda.
You okay?
うん、まあ、
Yeah, I guess.
死んでる
It
人
wasn't
を
my
見る
first
の
time
は
seeing a dead
初
body.
めてじゃないし。
I was about to say really, but they all lived through the earthquake 6 years ago, so yeah, actually, really. I also didn't know what to do. My friend started speeches when I screamed. You know, I love the concept of like brain, like, okay, brain, okay, let's think about this. There's somebody getting up there, they're about to speech. What do we do? And it's like a bulleted list that's just like, sit and listen, clap, applaud, say something witty, screech. And it's just like, that's the one. It just picks that, just click. Mid-speech screech is top tier. I mean, it sounds like a good time, and I'm sure everyone had a good time. And obviously, again, like, heck, and congrats to himself. Screech whenever you're excited. Oh yeah, then it's a known thing. Yeah, I guess it wasn't my first. Oh, I read that. Yeah. Sound of soda. Serica spoke in a normal tone of voice as she drank her favorite, grapefruit juice. Ugh. I love most fruits. Don't like grapefruits. It's just a little too bitter for me. I don't like the aftertaste. Like, I like most fruits. It's like cranberries and grapefruits I just don't like. So the concept of drinking like grapefruit juice is just like, why? I know people like it and cool, good on them. I'm never going to be drinking it. She didn't seem like she was lying. Oh man, I feel like my least favorite fruit drink I could ever imagine would be cran grapefruit. Just, salts or grapefruit unless it's sugar? I've heard of that, and I imagine that helps cut into the bitterness. But at the same time, instead of going through that, why wouldn't I just buy a fruit I like? But again, to each their own. Like, plenty of people like grapefruits, and hell yeah, enjoy it. That's how she'd been since she was a kid. It wasn't that she didn't have any feelings, she just got over them very quickly.
タク
Wouldn't
は
be Viper. Sorry, I don't like cran, I don't like grapefruit. So I feel like the combination of the two would just be like, nah. Or maybe, I've never tried cran grapefruit, maybe they cancel each other out and I end up liking it. I don't know. What about you, Taku? You okay? I don't think I care enough to buy any, though. Now that she asked, I wasn't sure how to answer the question. Cran grape like it's drugs? Cool! And you know I'm never going to be cutting down on your supply. You know if there's ever a shortage of cran grapefruit, I had nothing to do with it. Passion fruit ruins your teeth? Oh man. I don't think I've ever eaten a passion fruit, but the tea I've been drinking lately for nighttime, the fruit wild berry zinger, man, it turns the tea blood red. Just blood red. So like whenever I try to like pull the tea bag out, I gotta be careful it doesn't drip on anything because it's gonna stain the hell out of everything. But I'm it's probably 60% cran grape. Yeah, see, that was my freshman year with Mountain Dew. Have I seen Working? I have not, no. I have seen, what's the movie? Waiting? What, Ryan Reynolds, I think? That was, having never worked in a waitstaff, but still worked in retail, it's still painfully accurate. Water, you can have cran grape. Yeah, I mean, nowadays my body is mostly tea, and it's way better to be mostly tea than mostly soda. And I usually sweeten it with just honey, which is way better. I do have some fancy rock salt, not rock sugar, not rock salt. It's really just beet sugar, and it's basically just, it's rock candy. It's rock candy, and it's fine. Crunchyroll doesn't have it anymore. Ah, it's a shame. The problem is I don't watch a lot of anime lately. I did finally catch up on JoJo, only to find out it's going to be 7 more months until we get more JoJo. That's great. It took me a long time to catch up because I kept postponing, and definitely not because I was having problems finding it. But 7 more months for more JoJo. There's a ton of anime I should watch. It really is. A lot of it that I know I'd like, I just don't sit down and watch much. The waitress brought me my Mountain View. Yep, that is the waitress then. I nodded and took it. Was I okay? I mean, I really liked the 12 episodes there were, but I'm so used to just like, once it starts going, there's just an episode a week. And like, if they're doing it this way so that the animators have time to take a break, fine. Not just fine, but good. I don't think that's the case. I think it's just Netflix has decided people only want to binge watch something, so they'll wait till an entire chunk is done, release it at once. And I kind of liked the 1 episode at a time. I kind of feel like it's not giving the animators more time to rest/animate. It's the same schedule, they're just holding on to it until they decide it's time, and I don't like that. No way, seriously? That's terrible. Seriously, I couldn't believe it. What a dumbass, right? Spun the ice in my drink as I listened to the couple's irritating conversation. Sarika silently waited for my answer. Because Tony got hacked? Oh, okay. I knew that face. She'd been my friend since we were kids. There was no point in trying to hide it. To be honest, I'm not sure. Not sure about what? About whether I should keep following the case. This really does kind of cement Chaos Head as the only side of V-game so far that doesn't have, like, a male and female pair that have been friends since childhood. Like, Okabe has Mayuri. Obviously, you've got the main two from heckin' Robotics Notes, and these two have been friends since childhood. All Taku 1 had was his sister, who he hated. And, yeah, I mean, I guess, but I don't count actual sister, and he clearly just hated her. They weren't friends. As much as she wanted to be, like, have a sibling relationship, he clearly didn't. Just, yeah. Thought whether I should keep following the case. Sarika seemed genuinely shocked. Huh? Really? Excuse me, I'd like another thing of grapefruit juice. Sarika raised her hand and ordered another drink. Normally you'd say that was your big chance and rush right in, right? Yeah, that's true. It doesn't help that he doesn't have an actual past, that's fair. Our deaf childhood friends became into existence a month or 2 ago. Yeah, that's a fair point. That might be true, but things were different this time. After what I'd gone through. But it's, no matter how on the surface, like, cringy or whatever a character can seem, having another character in universe that clearly gets along with them and they go together well, and they like are friends immediately makes them seem less so. Like Ocarine versus Taku. He was super chuny. He's the character I think of when I think of Chunibyo. Not the girl from the actual show, Chunibyo and other things. I think Ocarine. but he had friends. I mean, not just Mayuri, but she really like clearly balanced them out. And it's like no matter how like on the surface cringy you can seem, it's like, yeah, but there's people in the universe that are like, cool. We're all cool. Yeah. No one wants to be childhood friends with Taku. No, they don't. I mean, sure, what happened at the hotel was scary, but Serika continued as if she knew exactly what I was thinking. Remember how scary it was when we used to go chasing after urban legends? Remember how you snuck into that hospital because it was an adventure? Whatever his name was, yeah. No, the closest thing Taku had to a friend was Grim. No, you're right. That one guy was his friend, but like, I don't know. Like, they were clearly friends, but at the same time, it always seemed like he was just somehow using him to pick up chicks. Like, I don't know. Like, I never got the feeling they were friends. I always got more the feeling that he just kind of tolerated him. Which is weird, because like he did certain things to actually try to seek out, like, hey, are you okay? Like, I still just never got that vibe. Which is weird. But probably intentional. If they were only actually knew each other for like a month's time, I guess. I don't know. Hard to act like a friend to Taku. Yes, true. I just dreamt about it. That was scary too, but even when you were crying, you said that the terror was something special because nobody else had experienced it. You really did. You were crying back then too. Was I? You can't prove anything. Here, finish it all. Oh, thanks. Serika took her glass of juice and gulped it down. So?
Yeah.
I mean, so? So what? Come on. Alright, so anyway, I figured you'd say that since you'd had an experience that no one else had, and that even if it was scary, that was your big chance. Her voice was light as she drank her juice, but her words didn't feel light at all. Something other people hadn't experienced. Something different from other people. Sometimes I don't know if she's smart or dumb. I also like her very small tie. Oh man, I'm gonna have to whip out the red tie again tomorrow, aren't I? I stared at Serika's face. How much did she understand of what she was saying? What? Oh, no, you can't have any. She moved the juice away from me. I was wrong. She probably didn't realize anything. Actually, she wasn't even thinking about anything. She really was dumb. I don't know about hearing that from a part-timer. Right? Does he just not give a damn? Well, normally, why would he? Hey, did I ever tell you about the comments from the Shibuya earthquake victims? What do you mean? I was pretty sure I told her a bunch of times. Well, whatever. Time for a lecture. Anybody who thinks about them talking to their friends and phrases it as a lecture constantly, it's not somebody I want to hang out with. Remember how just after the chaos from the earthquake calmed down, a ton of reporters started asking the victims for comments before the term Chaos Child Syndrome existed? Of course, I'd been in a coma for about a year after the earthquake, so I'd only investigated it after I woke up. Most of the interviews were about what good citizens we were. After that huge disaster, there was barely any violence or looting. They said this was amazing. And I think they were right. When they asked the victims what was the hardest part, most people were more concerned about others than themselves. Made his voice by Kyubey. Oh boy. Okay. Great. Now I hate the maid. They talked about how they couldn't contact their families and tell them they were safe, or how they couldn't give their children their favorite foods. And then one person said something different. Also an Atelier character, but Kyubey, yeah. Calico has an actual full Cube like mascot outfit. They occasionally wear at cons, and they have printed out these like paper contracts to give to people. Nobody likes it, but everybody loves it, but also everybody hates it. It's one of those things of like, wow, that's great. I hate it. Like, wow, that person put in a lot of work and it looks fantastic. And I hate it. Then one person said something different. I remembered what they said word for word. It left a huge impression on me. You love to hate it, yep. You outsiders have some nerve if you're telling us to hang in there. To be honest, I agreed completely. They said exactly what I was thinking. I didn't know who they were, but I admired them anyway. Those feelings were the exact opposite of all the excited, fired-up people on the outside. I think whoever said that was someone close to me. Not just someone who just saw the whole thing on the internet. Not someone who just happened to be caught up in the earthquake. You mean one of your parents? Oh hey, the guys from the tennis club say they're coming to the drinking party after the festival. Seriously? Oh, then we definitely won't be able to drink at home. I was different. I was different than the people who just lived normal lives in Shibuya. I ripped the bandage off my cheek. I was different. The wound had closed up. My face was back to normal. I was back to normal. Excuse me. The case was right in front of me. I had a huge mystery to investigate. I wasn't about to just be caught up in something. Dramatic bandage removal, yeah. As a right-sider, it was my job to jump right into the middle of all this information, right? Who, this guy? Oh. Doesn't ring a bell to me, but I also just don't have a great ear for it, to be fair. Like, I feel like I recognize like a small handful of voice actors and that's it. I could feel something like excitement mixed with a sense of duty welling up in me. I couldn't stop myself from smiling. You might be put in danger again. Huh? You mean the case? I nodded. Sarika laughed, a little strangely. Then for some reason she patted me lightly on the shoulder. Didn't know what that meant, but I started to laugh too. Sarika nodded. Alright, let's start with the Love Hotel case then. Sarika took out her Pokecom. She typed into it with a practiced hand. She seemed to be loading a video file. What's this? This is the video you took at the scene. I uploaded it to an online storage site before the police deleted it. The only one of the two... Wow, he called her stupid. Seems pretty smart to me. Seems pretty smart to me. By the time I got back home, the sun had long since set and it was past 8 p.m. I realized that I'd barely eaten anything since arriving at the Love Hotel and suddenly felt very hungry, so I'd eaten a meal at Lax. Hey, I've been wondering since the last time I came here, did you change your hot water pot? It used to be more... Oh, you made this into a closet? Sarika had followed me home. She started to glance around the room and offer her opinions on the way it was laid out. She would open drawers and be surprised even though there was nothing important inside, or look at new files about the case and tell me their contents at a glance. She always was a little strange like that. She would be surprised by the most obvious things, but sometimes she would show startling insight. And wait, you're really excited about something, aren't you? She laughed another strange laugh. Is it that much fun to try and solve this case? Says the guy who clearly is absolutely invested in this case. Sounds like Taku's voice. Oh, okay. It's more like it feels wrong to give up on something you want to do until you've really given it your all. No matter how it ends up, it's the only way anything matters. You're going to die someday, but you aren't dead right now. That's a way of seeing it. I see. I thought. She was right. The sound came from my PC. Erica's the exact same as the Atelier project with the same voice. Sometimes you just get those characters. The copy operation was finished. Okay, now delete the original online storage. Huh? Why? Just because of what it is. I don't want anybody seeing it. This is my private storage, so it should be okay.
それでもだ。
Even so, I want there to be no chance that somebody else can access it. Actually, delete the one in your Pokecom too.
そうだ。
オッケー。
Okay,
僕、
Taku,
何して
what are you
るの？
doing? Oh, what are we doing? Are we being positive, neutral, or negative? Who knows? I like how quick saves here. She looked over at me while she rifled through my bookcases. I do think it's funny that you two default to the names of your your names, the color of your names in chat too. I feel like it's funny that Ramen goes red and Sora goes blue. I'm gonna throw these hands. Well, we got a tie on our hands, so somebody's gonna have to break it. I guess I could. I could be the tiebreaker. Or, you really want to throw chaos in the mix, somebody could vote neutral. Poor Mitz is just here to celebrate and gets murdered by Sora. Well, then I guess I'm going to do a roll. 1, 2, 3 positive, 4, 5, 6 negative. Do I not have a roll? Swear I did. Alright, screw it. Oh, odds. There is neutral, but I feel like none of us are very neutral. Hold on, I'm going to do a... what was it? Random dice roller on online. Oh, random.org. There you go. Let's roll a d6. Roll 1 virtual dice. Roll a 6. We're going negative. There you go. The tiebreaker is RNG.
カッコン島を作る。
Making kakonte. How do you say that? Hold on.
カッコン島を作る。
Kankonto? Okay.
カッコンと
Kakonto? Huh? What kind of food is that?
どこの島？
Are you serious?
飲み物だ
It's an
よ。
herbal drink.
ゲンさんに
Gen
もらっ
gave it
た
to me. It keeps you from
吐き気
vomiting.
を抑える。
へえ。
Wow, I'm
よく
amazed you know about
知ってるね。
something like that. Heh. I mean, the last time we went negative, we got to suplex a fool, so that's pretty great. And then some information I found before flashed across my mind. Of course, it was from Cool Cat Press. I'd read about it in a certain special they'd run. If you put eye drops into a beer, it will make a girl feel aroused. No. No, that's not... No! Doesn't eye drops just make you sick? Doesn't it just make you, like, throw up? At the time, I hadn't believed it. That's not how any of this works. In another issue, they said that eye drops and cola would make a girl go to sleep. Now you're just... I guess eye drops are the magical substance. Adding eye drops into a drink would create unusual side effects. I heard a rumor that it was all just an urban legend, though. Yeah, I feel like anything you read in that magazine is all just an urban legend. What would happen if you put eye drops into Kakonto? I don't know. You should put them in there and drink it yourself and find out. There was a stupid teenage girl who didn't even know what Kakonto was right in front of me. Should I try it? The answer is obviously no, but we already picked this route. I prepared 2 cups like it was the most natural thing in the world and poured out the Kakonto I'd made. Why do you have eye drops? That's true. That's fair, but it's still not good. It's still not good. And then, being very careful not to let Serica see me, I took the eye drops off the shelf. I'll just add a few drops of it to this, and maybe it would be enough to arouse even Serica. Tried adding a few drops. Wait a second, Cool Cat Press hadn't said anything about how much to use. Yeah, because it's a sham, but so I had no idea how much it would take to get any effect. If he just dumps the whole thing in, just... I felt like you would need more than a few drops. Okay, I just... Damn it, just have to add the whole bottle. You think they're gonna kill her or make her vomit uncontrollably? The problem was how to make sure that Serica didn't see me. Yeah, your superpower is to always know what the horniest option is gonna be. And you knew. I'm gonna make yours now, so just sit there and wait.
本当？
Really? Thanks. I never had Kakonto
カッコ
before.
ン島って初めて飲むな。
Serica did just what I told her. Heh, so easy. Though, you know, that almost makes this worse. Like, Taku was delusional about random people he met. This is his childhood friend. They know and trust each other. And this is how he thinks. While she sat on the sofa, I went around to where she couldn't see me and opened the lid of the eye drops, and then poured the whole bottle in.
お待たせ。
Here you go. My heart felt like it was pounding fast. Tried to act normal as I handed her the cup. Ugh, it smells terrible. Like medicine or eye drops. Oh shit.
いや、
But, well, Kokonto is herbal medicine anyway. That's just how it smells. It's probably really good for you. Sarah laughed. True, his name is Taku too. It was lucky for me that she was so stupid. Okay, time to try it out. She put the cup to her lips with no hesitation, and then she keeled over dead. At the end of the illusion, she acknowledges that it's BS. He shouldn't think. Taku was totally into it even after that. Yeah, that's fair. She started coughing. Yeah, I should have seen that coming. I must have added the wrong amount. Yeah, the wrong amount being any amount. I'd have to tell her what I'd done later and apologize. If she lived that long. Are you okay? I mean, yeah, like, even just that one sentence, there's no way that Taku-1 would ever think I'd have to tell her later what I'd done and apologize. Those words would never, ever, ever cross his mind. Sarika wouldn't stop coughing. Her body was twisting in pain. The cup fell to the floor and spilled the Kokonto everywhere. Ah, you're so hot! Oh no! Oh no, wait, help! Cough, 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 cough. This wasn't normal.
どうしたんだよ。
Yeah, you spiked her drink. What's wrong? And then all too suddenly, she coughed up blood. The red liquid stained the sofa, the floor, and me. What the hell?
なんだよ。
Was I not supposed to mix Kokonto and eye drops? You're not supposed to spike anyone's drink with anything, let alone eye drops. Did I accidentally make something poisonous?
おのえ。
Oh no, hey! I tried to pat her back with her when her eyes suddenly rolled up into her head. She started to spasm and shake. Also, hey Sasafune, how's it going? Welcome to Happy Fun Times the game. How's it going tonight? All I could do was watch in shock. Soon she laid down on the bed, face up, and stopped moving. Wow, Sora. That fast? Blood was still dripping from the side of her mouth.
おのえ。
Oh no, she wasn't breathing.
嘘だろ。
You're kidding me.
死んだ
You're dead?
嘘って言って
Tell me it's not true. Well, huh? What's not true? I also like how he apparently just shouts the last thing out loud.
は
Huh? Sarika was looking at me, head tilted in surprise. There was no blood or drool dripping from her mouth, and her eyes weren't rolled into the back of her head.
嘘って
If it do so, it's all obviously. Tell you what's not true.
いや、
Oh, no,
なんでもない。
nothing.
もしかして
Are
私
you
に
lying
何
to me
か
about something?
そういうんじゃない。
That's not it. Don't worry
気にす
about
るな
it.。Okay.
Okay.
Sarika just did what I told her. I couldn't tell if she was obedient or just didn't care. But for now, I was saved. I took a drink from the cup of Kokonto in my hands. It didn't taste like medicine. I hadn't been able to find any eye drops on the shelf, so I'd just given it to her normally. I like how the only thing that stopped him was just he couldn't find any. It was wrong to think about experimenting on a friend. Yeah, it is.
それにしても
Anyway,
ゲン
Gen's
さん
such a
いい
nice
人だ
guy.
よ
I
ね
like him.
酒癖の悪
I
さは
wish he
ど
would
う
get
にか
drunk.
して
He
ほ
wouldn't
しい
get
けど
drunk so
な
often now.
でもタクが公園で気
But
許
he's
して
your
る
only
の
real
って
friend here
ゲ
at the
ンさん
park,
だけで
right?
し
So
ょ
he really is a good
やっ
guy.
ぱりいい人だよ
Was that why? Well, he did help me out a lot.
Okay.
Okay, it's deleted. Sarika put away her Pokecom. Alright. I booted up the laptop next to the wall and sat down in the chair that folded out into a bed. As I went to load the video file onto the player software, I happened to glance at its length.
26
26 minutes? Were we in that room that long? Oh, maybe we're gonna get some answers. Oh, Sarika said.
違うと思う
I don't think so. Right after you passed out, the police arrived, but I was sick and throwing up. At some point, I grabbed your phone and put it in my pocket.
私もそれで
Just plat Elden Ring? Jeez, congrats. I beat it. I don't know if I'm gonna go for the platinum yet,
録画ボタンを止めた
but I'm starting up a second character, and I want to go for the Three Fingers ending. And at that rate, that would just leave the regular ending anyway, and I just gotta get all the legendary things, so it's doable. I beat all the trophy bosses first playthrough. So it's just cleaning up items and stuff on a second playthrough. So, maybe. Still congrats. It doesn't seem as hard as many. Oh man, it's... My first playthrough took me 95 hours and I loved every second of it. Potts is even higher than that. Potts is in like the 120s and is loving every second still. It's good. It's good. That's why it kind of consumed this channel for a few weeks. We took that 1 week off for some other stuff. We took a week off to kill Chaos, kill everyone in front of us in Hitman, and kill my ability to read English in Yu-Gi-Oh! And then when I was in the police car, I realized I had it. That was when I turned off the record button. So that was it. Come to think of it, I hadn't asked how it had happened. I'm amazed you had time to upload it to the storage before the police storage it. Chaos, exactly. Serica nodded, as if she felt the same way.
たまたまだよ
It was blind luck.
警察に着いた時に
When we got to the station, I got sick
また気持ち悪くな
again,
っちゃって
so I ran to the
トイレ
bathroom.
に
And
駆け
that's
込
when
ん
I
で
got the idea.
いやすごいと
No,
思
I'm
う
really amazed. I really was. I'd passed out in the hotel, and the next thing I knew I was at the station. Supposedly, I'd walked from the patrol car to my room, but my memory was vague and hazy. I took a big sip from the cup to choke down the urge to vomit and slowly let it sink into my stomach. If the recording was successful, then I should see what I'd seen there. It had happened 2 days ago, but it had left such a strong impression on me that it didn't feel like that much time had passed at all. Macro that isn't dead again. Oh, that's, you got it all macroed and good. Ah, yes. I mean, the other macro was great while it lasted. One of the Taru longer ones. Took a deep breath and told myself it was time to do this. I looked over at Serica. Okay. I like that you still have it, even though the clip's dead. She nodded back at me and glared at the monitor. Okay. I tried to steady my slightly shaking fingers as I clicked the file. Movie media player.
Oh hey, it's hot
The
garbage.
first thing I noticed was that sound. The peaceful sound of the music box that filled the room from that spinning bed. A dark, gloomy room, a curtain in the back, and a rotating bed behind it. Oh, that's from Liddy and Suelle, right? Is her voice actress in either Liddy or Suelle? I didn't think so, but it does sound... Oh, okay, then that's why. That's Liddy. Yep, so that's what Ark was saying. The longer one of the joke Tarus we have is her. And they're right, yeah. It's going by sound. Oh, okay, Ramon's gonna look. It sounds similar to me, but I don't know if it's exact. But it definitely has a similar tone. It was that room. The same emotions I'd experienced before came flooding back to me through the blurry screen. Shalil? Okay. I could sense my own hesitation from my gasping breaths. Serica grabbed my shoulder at the sudden sound. It's okay. I think that's just where I made the floor creak.
そっか
Oh, yeah, I see. The camera was slowly moving towards the back of the room. Yeah, she shouldn't be in the bot, because we only have Taru bot characters from the games I've played actively, even though I've played some earlier ones off, like before ever streaming. So far, we've kept it to things that we've played on stream, which is really just Ryza. It's just Ryza. At some point, my breathing met... Oh no, and Liddy and Suelle, to be fair. I mean, if I was gonna play another one, that's the one I'd probably do. That was my first ever Atelier game, and it's got a dub. At some point, my breathing matched the breathing in the recording. That was the reason I knew about Barrel. I would reference that occasionally, not realizing that was part of a greater series. Until I found out, wait, no, that's the Atelier thing. I didn't know, I would just reference like Barrel, because that stuck with me. I remember minimal bits about the plot. I remembered like the main school theme, because it's catchy beyond belief. The battle system and Barrel. And some of the character designs. It scared me, so I pulled away a little and took a deep breath to isolate myself from the person in the video. I heard that sound. The sound of the wire creaking as the bed spun. I could feel the panic coming through the screen. I wasn't sure what to do.
進むぞ。
I'm going to keep going. I played it with the dub, and I definitely don't remember it being bad. It's definitely how I played it on the PS2 back in the day. I could tell that Serica was gulping a little. As I spoke, the camera kept going forward. I could hear Serica's soft gasps in the video. The police officer and that woman were lying on the floor. I hadn't realized it at the time, but the glass was scattered all around. Damn. The camera quickly panned without warning. The video recording term refers to fixing the camera in a single location while changing the direction it faces. Literally just turn. There you go. We've panned the camera. Perfect. Nothing else credited beyond the... Wow, really? I guess when you get the one perfect roll, you just go, cool, perfect, done. It was that bed. The silhouette behind the curtain was probably that man. That man? The angle was off and wasn't pointing directly at the bed. Single credit there too? Wow. Alright. At that point, I hadn't really been aware of the smartphone. Let's get out of here, now! I heard a dull thud and the screen went blank. Huh? Did you drop it?
落としたのかな
We're in the Guilty Gear timeline, I suppose. Probably. Felt like I tripped and fallen backwards. The phone had probably fallen from my hands. Was it black because the camera had fallen face down? Taku, the door won't open! Serica's voice sounded like it was a little far away. It was still picking up sound, evidently. I could hear myself trying to open the door and swearing when I failed. Overlord? Okay. That's right, I've been fighting with the door then. Then... Ah, we have proof that there was a knock on the door. Also, the knock picked up on a phone. If it was a delusional thing, would a phone camera pick it up? I don't think so. But we know that they can make delusional things a reality, to be fair. But... I wonder... So that first guy, the guy on video, the people who were with him at some point did start to whisper, and I'm unsure whether they wanted to avoid being picked up by the camera, or if they were just trying to prompt him, like it was just an excuse for him to whisper so he wouldn't be picked up by the camera. Yeah, still weird. It's still weird to hear it on the phone. My body shivered as if it had gone numb. This was... I could hear it. Hey, you heard it, right? Yeah. I could hear it. The police said the surveillance cameras hadn't shown anyone else coming into the room, but I could hear it. That constant rhythmic knocking. Somehow it made me feel uneasy and scared. Someone had been on the other side of that door. Yeah, like, there's only two ways you knock. You either just knock, 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 or you shave and haircut 2 bits. Those are the only knocks. That's it. You could do like knock knock, or shave and haircut. Those are the only options. Anything else, whose knocks are those knocks? Or to go back to a previous topic, I guess you could go to Hooters and be like, whose knockers are those knockers? I need to be stopped. And suddenly the screen moved. What? Taku, we need to get out of here. It was showing the man on the bed. The screen was blurry, but the man was almost exactly in the center of the viewfinder. And I picked up the smartphone. Damn it. Of course, Ramen. The mental train of thought was like knocking, knockers, specifically Young Frankenstein. Previous topic, Hooters. That was the internal logic connecting it all. I couldn't remember. Young Frankenstein is a masterpiece, by the way. In the video, I ignored Serica's voice and kept pointing the camera at the man. I could hear my own rough breathing, and I remembered how I'd felt then. Plan success, clearly. Then I suddenly heard a snap. Hello. I like how little the subtitle matches that. The subtitle is dash exclamation point. I mean, I guess it captures it a bit, but I feel like it just a bunch of uppercase A's would also have captured it a lot better. Great sound. The screen moved violently for a second, and then for a moment it showed the girl. Then the angle changed again, and it stopped moving. Yeah. The screen was covered in red blood, but... Is that the ceiling? What I was looking at was probably the room ceiling. Yeah, that would probably be where it passed out. Since it didn't move at all, this is probably where I'd passed out and dropped it. Just like before, the camera was still recording the sound. I could hear Serica vomiting and what sounded like someone falling over. What? Hey, what happened here? Oh, the police really did show up immediately. It caught the police officers running into the room. They were asking Serica what was going on. She was probably the only one there who was still conscious. Yeah. Shortly after, the screen went blank. Serica had probably put the phone in her pocket, just like she said. I could hear an irritating noise that must have been the sound of the phone scraping the skirt's fabric. The screen stayed black, but it kept picking up the nearby sound. Then at the very end, there was a quick shot of the inside of a patrol car. So not really much extra. I realized that at some point I leaned my body towards the screen. I sat back in my chair. It doesn't seem like the video had any new info on it. To the best of what we can tell. Yeah, I expected more. I'd known what was going to happen, but this was still hard. To be honest, I was lucky that the phone was dropped and a lot of it wasn't clearly recorded. I didn't feel as much of an urge to vomit as I'd expected, but I was still sweating from a nasty, unpleasant feeling. I gulped down the last bit of liquid in my cup. Onoe, are you okay? I asked Serica, and then... Hey, Taku, did you see something weird at the end of the video? Oh? In the police car? What? Weird? The whole thing was weird. Not a second of it was normal. Once we went further into the room, Serica moved the mouse to jump backwards in the video. Oh, maybe she's smarter than she seems, clearly. I couldn't tell whether she was tough or simply dense, or maybe just felt like it was nothing but a video, but she advanced through the shocking scenes with no hesitation. Here, look, outside the window. Huh? Yeah? I could see the wall of the Love Hotel across the street from the open window. There's something there. What is this? I don't... A bug, maybe? If there was a bug that big, big enough, Kurusu would blow up the whole building. She hated bugs. And maybe some graffiti? Dwyer was her first answer a bug, and her second answer the sensible one. I don't... Is it like the spot on the window? I don't really see... Am I blind? Am I blind? The wall of... Am I viewing it at a weird angle or something? Enhance, yeah. I don't see anything there. No, wait, I've seen this before. Okay, so it is the spot then. I switched from my player software to my editing software, then blew up that part of the screen. Damn it, I could make it out, but it was so far away that it was blurry. The resolution was too low. Bust out the program. See? It is a bug. It's spreading its wings. That's not. I've seen this somewhere before. What? I turned around at the loud noise. I have returned. Sorry to keep you waiting. I like his mustache. There was a drunk man with a bottle of booze in his hand. Give me a break. Of course no one was waiting. Make less noise when you come in. Hey, Gen, thanks for your help. I feel like his style is different from the other characters. My help? You told me about the thing at the Love Hotel, remember? I honestly feel like he's drawn with a different style. Oh, did I? Well, it doesn't matter. Something happened. Great! Taku wants to be a reporter after all. I didn't, really. Every day I supposedly wanted to be a different thing. Last time it was a movie director. See, eyes. Yeah, he actually looks friendly. I returned. Hey, listen, Taku, look what I've acquired. So that I may remain me. Where is it? He started patting down the pockets of his very old coat. This annoying old man was Gen. He was the elder ruler of this park, and the CEO of a company with a 3 billion yen a year salary, and the best friend of my father, Jiro. At least according to him. My dad's name wasn't even Jiro. He was related to a clan of foreign nobles, and so if he ever needed it, he could summon a foreign special forces team to do his bidding. Except last week, his bed had been taken over by a stray dog, and he had to come to stay with me. It's gone. The most important thing is gone. Crap, how am I supposed to piss? What? Hey, Ken, don't take off your pants! Ken was already loud when he got always loud when he got drunk. When he got really drunk, he was louder. Today, he wasn't very drunk. I had no idea what he was like when he was sober. I'd never seen it happen, or heard of it happening. No butler, clearly, yeah. Sometimes, or often actually, at least once a week, he would come by my room drunk, talk for a while, and then leave to search the park for more alcohol. I found it! I found it, Missy! Look at this! I'm not going to look. Absolutely not. He was obnoxious as hell, to put it mildly, but I couldn't chase him away. Actually, I couldn't complain about him much at all. When I'd left the dorm half a year ago, I ended up at the bottom half of Mayashita Park. Since the upper half kept the rain off, the bottom half was one of the most popular spots. A lot of the reason I was able to get this spot, and even get this motorhome, was because of Gen. You're awful, that's disgusting! When I lived in the dorm, I'd done some cooking for the homeless in Mayashita Park as part of our volunteer activities. Gen had remembered that. A nobleman does not forget his debts, was all he said, and then somehow I'd been given this place. He has test hats? He does, he's got the testament hat. Not the hair. Oh, right, Taku, look at this! Wanna buy it? Ken took something out of his pocket. It's another great exclamation point sound. I ripped the copy of my favorite magazine out of his hands. Quickly glanced over to Serika. I hate you again. She was mumbling that over and over to herself. I thought she liked him. Well, when he's got his pants on, sure. Good, she didn't see it. I breathed a sigh of relief and hid it someplace nearby. How much? Ken raised a single finger. This was one rule, for example. It was the first thing I'd learned in the park. The homeless would never ever ask you for money. It was the one thing they could never say. Money was either found lying on the ground or earned by working or selling things. It wasn't something other people gave you. I took out a 100 yen coin from my wallet and gave it to him. Ken grabbed it and put it in his pocket like he didn't really care. Hey, I see that a lot lately. He was looking at the PC monitor as he spoke. For a moment, I didn't know what he meant. Huh? My eyes met Serika's for just a moment. The monitor was still displaying that blurry, blown-up image. He saw it a lot? Hey, Gen! You know what this is? I want to play some baseball. He was in his own little world. What was this guy's problem? I got closer to him. Gen, have you seen this before? Huh? I mean, it's everywhere you look, like in front of the station. Wait, what's a station again? Huh? I mean the train station, right? Shibuya Station? You know, wait. Taku, it was right in the last thing you showed me, right? Huh? You know, a few years ago, when you did a stakeout in a karaoke box, and was the first person to get something or other. Yeah, a few years ago. That was last weekend, actually. When I'd been uploading the photos of the crime scene I'd taken from the karaoke box, Ken had come by and seen them. This was it. Oh, Taku, look! It was an image of the karaoke box I'd hidden in to take pictures of the crime scene. It was on the 5th floor. I could see the same mark. I switched from the player software to the editor software, just like before, and magnified that part of the image. then I realized what it was. That's right. I'd seen this thing before. And just like Gen said, it was something you could find all over Shibuya. Something that had been there for a long time. This is a sumo wrestler sticker. It's less suspicious if they're everywhere, though. If you see them literally everywhere, then the likelihood of them showing up also at the scene of a crime is pretty high, because they're everywhere. As I saw the club room for the first time in 3 days, I was stunned.
Yeah.
Man, I did my best. I'd been waiting all morning to tell Ito the big discovery I'd made yesterday. I stayed up almost all night finding all the information I could on it, and then forced myself to wait until school ended to tell him. I figured that just sending pictures to his phone or trying to explain it in words would just confuse him. I wanted to stand in front of the board of the club room with all the information we learned so far pinned up on it. And a hiccup and use the club time to really work through it. But there was nothing there at all. I could only think of one person who would do that. Kurusu. When we left yesterday, she said it was too dangerous and she wasn't going to let you do it. Too late. Was it because of what happened in the Love Hotel? In as angry a voice as I could muster, I said, "Why didn't you stop her?" I told you I tried. She told me to shut up, though, and I did. You should have done something. Don't tell me to do the impossible. Could you have done something? Don't tell me to do the impossible. Ito shrugged as if to say, see? Just imagining it scared me a little. Doing something about Kurusu was absolutely impossible. No one in Hekiho was capable of such a thing. I pointed to the PC on the desk. What about the data? Just consider yourself lucky that she didn't physically destroy the whole hard disk. So the data was gone too. Ito was probably joking, but if Kurusu thought she had to do it, she would have. Noe, what are you printing out? Here you go. Sarika dropped a stack of papers on the desk. Man, they just fly through like printer paper, don't they? Looked down and saw that it was images and articles about the case. It was the ones that were uploaded to the newspaper club server. Where did you get these? Aren't you always telling me that a true right-sider needs to make sure his stuff is backed up? I mean, you've got backups too, right? Well, yes, but in a very no type of way. Sarika flipped through the papers. So in the past, just since we started tonight, how many times has she saved his butt? Just saying. Who's the real... He thinks he's better than everyone, and he thinks that she's just stupid, but she's got backups of data that you don't. For some reason the image quality dropped, so I printed off my Pokecom. I'll re-upload it to the server. Wait a second. Sarika went to stretch a cable from her Pokecom to the PC, but I quickly stopped her. Huh? Is this image quality good enough? That's not it. I mean, the image quality's fine, but I'd rather you didn't upload it to the server for a while. I glanced at Ito as I spoke. Newspaper Club server could be accessed from any PC in the school as long as you knew the password. Kurusu was spending her time at the student council getting ready for the culture festival, but there was a chance she might look at the server for some reason. Ito nodded in agreement, a serious look on his face. You two are too afraid of no. She's nice, right, Hana? See? See what? Was Kazuki agreeing? She was pounding down on the keyboard and mouse really hard. It's because she likes you two. That's right, we visited every crepe stand in Shibuya together. No one knows all about sweets. Sarika puffed out her chest, very proud of this information. I didn't care in the slightest. How could you not care about sweets and crepes? And either way, I think no one's going to find out. Not that I have crepes in any amount ever, but I should. That's probably true, yeah. If we kept following the case as part of our work with the newspaper club, Kurusu was smart enough to catch on. This speaks is going to be wild. Yeah. It's okay, she'll understand once you talk to her. She's the silent Bob of this game. She's just going to sit back there silently, but when she finally opens her mouth, it's just going to be like prophetic. I simulated a variety of situations in my mind. Oh, he did indeed set up a variety of situations in his mind. At least 3. Which of the three should we go with? I feel like the answer is to just leave random.org up. I feel like we're just going to have a tie the whole time. Oh. Oh, Mitz with the tiebreaker for red. Okay. I'm just assuming Sora's voting blue. I'm just assuming. Yeah. Well, we have a tiebreaker. Negative it is. Mitz here to embrace chaos. Oh. Oh. Oh, okay. Bringing it back to neutral. So, Ark, do you want to be the tiebreaker, or should I random this? Down to random.org again. I got it ready. I'm just going to leave it up now. Alright, so we'll do same way we did last time. 1, 2, 3, positive. I do negatives? Okay. Then we got a tiebreaker. There you go. Positive it is. This is something that Serica had said, and that I'd known about too. Let me just go back to there. There we go. So would buying her something she liked from a famous sweet shop be enough to win her over? Would bribery work on someone as prim and proper as the student council president? It was worth a try. Unless we could win her over, we weren't going to be able to continue with the case.
Yoshi.
Okay, let's go buy something to bribe her with.
Onoe.
Onoe, tell me Kurusu's 3 favorite sweet shops. Okay, if you're gonna buy something, I want to go too. She was clearly intending to buy something for herself. Well, that was fine. I forget to watch Talk to Drug a Second Girl. I mean, that's okay though. We can skip that. Time for the mission to begin. But we also may never see him suplex someone else either, unfortunately. So here you go. This is a present for you, Kurusu. I knew that Kurusu was staying late after school to get ready for the festival. I handed her the present I just bought. Serica had told me about a pancake place near Shibuya Station. It was a popular store where there was always a line of girls outside. I heard it was one of the few places where I could get pancakes for takeout, so I quickly chose it. Standing in line with the girls for an hour was almost torture, but I somehow managed to do it. I can understand how just waiting in line with friends for a while is awful. Is this pancake from Eggs and Thanks? Eggs and Thanks? What? That definitely says Eggs and Thanks. That's right. There's always a line there, so it's impossible to get them. Her eyes were shining like a little girl's. It wasn't an expression I was used to seeing from her. You're giving these to me? Really? Yeah. I always cause you a lot of trouble. So rare for you to give me any kind of present like this, Takeru. Thank you. This makes me really happy. Oh, yeah. After seeing how happy she was, I couldn't tell her that I was trying to bribe her. So... Oh, that's strange. Huh? Why? Why was she crying? I'm sorry, I just didn't realize it was possible to be so happy. I mean, I like pancakes too, but slow your roll. And maybe I should go... There's a diner down the street that does chocolate chip pancakes that are borderline more chocolate chip than pancake, which is, in my opinion, the correct ratio. And I need to... I haven't been there in a while. I should go get some chocolate chip pancakes. Yes, that's the right answer. It's weird for me to cry so much, isn't it? I haven't, you're right, so I don't know. I don't know. I've only had the diner pancakes, and their chocolate... That place used to be open 24/7, and my friends and I used to be out really late, and like, before they dropped me off here at home, we'd go for like 3, 4 a.m. chocolate chip pancakes, and it was glorious. And then they started closing at like, you know, regular restaurant hours, and it's just like, it's not the same. This really made me happy. Thank you, Takeru. Want to split this? It's okay, right? I was satisfied with the results of my simulation. This might work. Of course, that's how he thinks it's gonna go. Okay, I've got it. Huh? You're sure? Ito must have been really surprised by my answer, because he badly
お
overreacted.
前はそんなに勇敢なやつだった
I
か
didn't think you were so brave.
やるときはや
I'm
るん
always
だよ
brave when it counts.
ただサーバーに上げるのは待ってくれ
Just don't put anything on the server yet. I want to be cautious. Okay.
それから
And for now, we'll put the information on the board, but when it's done, we'll take it off.
まとめ
Things
終
are
わっ
going
た
to
ら
get
一旦探そ
tricky.
う
Okay.
それから
And for now, let's not tell Kurusu about the case. We can keep an eye on things until they calm down, and then bring it up when she's in a good
そ
mood
れで
after
ほと
eating
ぼりが
something
冷めるまで
sweet.
様子を見
Okay. Superior intellect. Of course my plan will work. Obviously. That's exactly how he thinks it will always go down. Also, hey, welcome to Backbling in the chat.
ただのヘ
Aren't
タ
you
レじゃ
just
ね
being a pussy? What?
えヘタレじゃない
I'm not being a pussy. I'm choosing the method most likely to succeed. If you call that being a pussy, then the definition of...
それをヘタレと呼ぶはいはいわか
Right,
った
right,
わ
I
かった
get it.
ほ
I
ら
know
お
I...
前
I'm going to put on the map. Put up the map. Hold that end.
オッケー
Okay. Ito and Serika took out the big map we used for the board.
説得を考
This is the
えた
best way to persuade her.
これが一番
He didn't get it
確
at
実だ
all. There was no way I could persuade Kurusu if I tried to go after her head on.
というか宮代
Oh, Cheryl,
マジ
let
な
me be
話だ
serious
と
for a
さ
second here. He had a very serious tone in his voice as he hung up the top of the map. Huh? I've been serious the whole time.
その
Is it okay to keep
大丈夫なのか？
following this case? I told you, I'll persuade her eventually. I'm not being a pussy, I'm just being cautious.
じゃなくて
That's not what I'm talking about. You saw something really bad, right?
よっぽどのもん
In
見
the
たんだ
Love
ろ
Hotel? Serika froze midway through the process of taping down the bottom of the map. So that was it. I hadn't told Ito anything about the Love Hotel. I hadn't told him about what I'd seen or experienced there. Just used the same word to Tori and somebody was very offended. Oh, okay. So, yeah, there may be translation differences, but it's definitely an insult. Tried my best to give him a cheerful smile.
大丈夫だよ
It's fine, no problem. This is way too big a scoop not to chase, right? Ito didn't answer. He stared at me as if trying to figure me out. And then he relaxed and laughed a little.
まあ
Well, I figured as much
電
when we
話の
talked
時
on
点
the
で
phone.
そうじゃないかとは
He
思っ
was
てた
probably
けど
talking about
な
the call I made yesterday. After I made my discovery, I called Ito and asked him to find all the information he could about the Love Hotel case. Excuse me. It had already been 3 days since it had happened. I hadn't been really following it at all, so I asked Ito to put together what he could find.
はいいいよ
Okay, all set. Serika finished pinning the map to the board. Okay, let's get started. It was a brand new map of Shibuya. We'd had to put it up from scratch again, but now that I looked at it, maybe that wasn't such a bad thing. I'd made a huge discovery which could impact the whole case. It was a good idea to start over from the beginning.
まず6年前の事件と
First, we'll assume that there's a connection between the dates when these incidents are happening and the incident 6 years ago. Photos down there? Looks like some newspaper clippings. What looks like almost a river? Some clouds, maybe a building, and the middle one on the right looks like maybe like the 10 building after the earthquake. But then there's also very clearly a picture of the two gals and the one in the middle. What are the others? The right middle looks like earthquake picture. The right top looks like the top of a building. Bottom left is the same picture as the one above it, but in the newspaper clipping, and it looks to be like a river going through a back alley, and the top left one seems to be just clouds, as best as I can tell. First, we'll assume that there's a connection between the dates when these... Oh, I read that.
つまり
In other words, we'll
今まで起き
consider
た
all
3つの
three
事件を
cases so far as
一
part
連
of a
のことと
set.
して考え
This
る
is regardless of whether someone's behind all this or what they might be after.
ああ
Yeah, that
3
makes
つ続い
sense.
た以上はそうだ
Now
ろ
that there have been 3
そうじゃ
incidents,
なかっ
if
た
we
ら
find out we're
また
wrong,
その
we
時
can
考えれ
reconsider
ばいい
things then. Oh. Okay.
よし
Alright, let's start with the locations. The first case, Don't Look at Me, took place in
1件目
Jino.
の事件通称こっちみんなは陣南で起こったからでそ
So
の遺体
here's
の
the
画
picture
像
of
が
the body. Oh, we have to pick. The first picture is that one, right? Okay. Oh, I'm sure I can screw this up. And here's the summary of the case. I'm gonna try not to, but let's be honest, I'll screw it up. Don't look at me. Victim, oh, well, it cut away. By the way, the incident that occurred 6 years ago at the same date was the group dive. That's an easy picture. It's the one that just looks like raspberry jam. It's Phoenix Wright time, yeah. Man, I'm gonna start screwing these up. And here's the summary of the case. I mean, so far, we played Chaos Head, and we remember some of these. And that's it for the first case. Let's move on to the second. Leaky noise happened in Shinshen, so... Yeah, I couldn't... I mean, even if I hadn't, they did go over it. They definitely covered this exact stuff previously, but I feel like it's definitely ingrained in us having played it. Here's the picture of the body. That was Leaky Noise, right? So that's that one. And here's the summary of the case. By the way, the incident that occurred 6 years ago on the same date was the pregnant man. But yeah, they've used these exact pictures before. And here's the summary of the case. Okay, finally, the one that took place in the Love Hotel. That happened in the Love Hotel area in Danganronpa, so... So, about the summary. I looked at Ito and I could see he was nervous. He was worried, but at the same time a little excited. What's wrong? You okay? Oh man, imagine what a legend he'd be if he posted the video he took to @channel. If he leaked the info to @channel, he'd be a legend. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure the cops would know it was from him. First, can you show me what you put together? I want to know what the public knows about it. I saw the names they gave it. You know the murder with the Rancor though? Oh yeah! Straight up just Star Wars murder. I don't remember the name of that one either. Oh yeah, just give me a second. Ito got out his own Pokecom and started to fiddle with it. He linked it to the printer over the network and printed out his files. Wait. You're not upping them to the server after all, are you? Of course not. I don't want to get punched. Told you, you're too scared of her. I skimmed the printout that Ito made for me. If there's not an ending to this game that has her just falcon punching these guys to oblivion, I'll be a little sad. After all the cases we researched together, we knew how to summarize information into a single page like a pro. Ito read from his own printout. The name was announced last night. The victim was Hironori Kakita, a 22-year-old resident of Shibuya. He had a part-time job at Koshin. The best red delusion, yes. I wonder if this guy was somebody famous too, because that definitely connected the first two. Oh, well, never mind. How can you not know about them? They're a huge, successful venture capital firm. They had been making a lot of money lately off the Shibuya reconstruction. Just like Shibuya News said, he was a male in his 20s. Nice. So you checked there. It was about the only thing I could do, Ito said as he nodded. Wait, she said that he was in his 20s the night it happened. At that point, the only official announcement was that a man's body had been found. Jeez, where did she find this stuff? I couldn't agree more. How did Kei do her research? The cause of death was strangulation due to hanging. They decided it was a suicide after a romantic quarrel. Huh, yeah, it definitely looks like something's... Yeah, sure, definitely suicide. Huh? Suicide over a fight with a lover? It was ruled to be suicide? Yeah, that's what the cop said. The only other information they came out with was that he was pretty good at his job. He made a surprising amount off of a commission sales job. So who'd he get in a fight with? Huh? I mean, if he had a fight with his girlfriend, that means he had a girlfriend, right? Oh, I see. Ito looked through a bunch of files on his Pokemon. No, I don't have anything on that. What about witnesses? The hotel staff were the ones that found him, but nothing else was said. Of course, there was nothing about you two either. What was going on? So they hadn't said anything about the other girl at the scene. Haku. Sarika was staring at me confused. She was probably thinking the same thing. I could understand why there wasn't any information about us. The police had said there wouldn't be. And to be real honest, we were just gawkers. There was no real point in telling anyone we were there. She'd be able to do the radio show, especially in custody. Yeah. Yeah, how else would she know? That girl clearly seemed to be involved in the case. If they said he got into a fight with his girlfriend, then it didn't make sense not to report the girl who was there. It's because she was a minor? No, I'm pretty sure the whole fight with a girlfriend is a covered story, because of course if it happened at Love Hotel, it's like, yeah, just fight with a girlfriend. It's fine. I wasn't sure, but she had looked young. She definitely wasn't older than 19. No, even then, they'd say something. Whenever there was a problem with someone dating underage girls, they never reported the girl's name, but they always reported her existence.
どうした?
What's wrong?
説明する
I'll explain. I pinned up the information that Ito had given me. I mean, it obviously has to find its way to @channel so they can give it a catchy name.
この事件の遺体の
The
火
picture of the body from the Love Hotel is... Like, Love Hotel case just doesn't... It's not the same.
これは?
What's this?
ラブホの現場で
A
撮った
picture I
画像
took at the
だ
Love Hotel.
撮ったのか?
Huh? You took pictures? Took a video. Ito almost jumped it on me in shock. I nodded.
正確には録
More
画した映像を切
specifically,
り取って
I took a frame from the video recorded and printed it out.
警察に
On
記
our
さ
way,
れる
I
前
uploaded
に
it to our private
お前
storage
が個
before the
人の
police
スト
could
レージ
delete
に
it.
上げておいて
マジかよ.
Seriously? Oh wow, that means that nobody has this but us.
どこにも出てねえぞ.
Ito put his face up to the picture in excitement. What? He hung himself sitting down? Is this a wire?
ワイヤ
He
ーか?
mumbled to himself as he stared at it, trying to memorize every last detail.
なんだよこれ.
What is this? What the hell happened here? It's fine. As I listened to Ito speak excitedly, I looked towards Sarika. I wasn't sure why I was looking at her. But she nodded as if she understood. I nodded back. The police had told us not to tell anyone, but I didn't care. Slowly started to explain what had happened to Ito. Yeah, it probably is, isn't it? Yeah, that's the Speen. How he'd made it into the hotel undetected. How the room we'd seen from outside was where we'd found the body. How we'd gone inside and found the police officer lying on the floor. How the body in the photo was sitting in a spinning bed and slowly rotating. And how there'd been another girl there, and how someone had tried to enter the room. But I didn't tell him how the door had unlocked itself. The police had told me I'd imagined it, and they'd made me realize I had no proof. Had no proof, but like, we have audio proof, I guess. Between my curiosity and my fear, I'd been a mess at the time anyway. And more than anything, without any kind of proof, I wasn't sure it had happened at all. Like, even if they have no proof of the door unlocking... Hold on. I don't know why I keep coughing tonight. It doesn't have the lock sound, but it does have the door lock behind them. Specifically, they try to get out. They try to leave, but the door is locked. And unless they walked into the room and locked it behind themselves, that shouldn't happen. Yeah, they don't have any proof of the initial, like, oh, the door's locked. Click, oh, the door's open. They don't have proof of that. Unless they enter the room and locked it behind themselves, which we know they didn't, but I guess they don't have video proof of. They do have proof that it got locked. Because they want it out, for sure. When I finished, Ito's first questions were the same as mine had been.
現場にいた女に
So there was a girl at the scene, and then someone tried to come into the room.
でも
The girl was real, but they couldn't find any evidence of someone trying to come into the room, could they? Nope. That was right. That was what the police had told me. But
ノックの音が聞こ
I
えたん
heard the
だ
knocking, and I have the sound in my video.
音だろ
Just the
誰か
sound,
がドア
right?
の向こうにい
That
て
doesn't
ドア
prove
を
that someone was
叩
on
い
the
た
other
という
side of the
証明
door
じゃない
knocking.
いや理屈
No.
で考
I
えれば
mean,
そうだ
logically
け
you're
ど
right, but I'm sure someone was on the
そ
other
れに
side.
確かにあれは誰かがドアを
Ito cut me off, clearly irritated.
理屈で考えればって
Logically, I'm right.
一番
You're
ら
the
し
one
く
who's
ない
always
言葉
telling
だ
me
ぞ
that logic is the only thing that matters,
Mix them.
idiot. Don't Don't call me an idiot. I just prefer to cover all my bases.
はっきりしてるところから行こ
Let's
う
start
ぜ
with what we know for sure, right? Damn it. He'd only say that because he hadn't heard it in person. A strange, eerie sound which hung in the depths of your ears and wouldn't let go. But that was true.
その通りといえば
Yes, he's
そう
right,
なんだよ
I hadn't seen for myself someone trying to enter the room. Maybe he took my silence as agreement.
で現場にいた
So,
女
about this woman who was there.
あ
Oh,
だ
that's
か
why you're
ら
asking
交
about
際
his
相手を気
girlfriend.
にしてたの
女
She
っ
was
ていう
more
よ
of a
り
girl than
女
a
の子
woman.
かな
女の子
A girl?
あの子きっと
I think she was probably around my age, and I don't think she was older. She was the same age or a year or two younger, maybe?
そうかな
Maybe? I wasn't sure, but if Serica said so, she was probably right. Serica never had any evidence or proof of her statements, but she was often correct.
でも
But there's nothing about her in the news, was there?
情報はなかったんだろう
Look back at Ito to check.
あ
Yeah, I checked everything from gossip magazines to the official newspaper
まとめ引き
announcements.
まで全部載
I
せ
even
た
took a look at the aggregator wiki,
そんな情報はなかった
but there's nothing like that. I see.
だとすれば
Which means we'll have to
やっ
look
ぱ
for
り
her
こっちから
ourselves, I
追うしかな
guess.
いか
I flipped through the remaining papers.
別の手がかりがある
Any
の
other
か
clues?
映像を見返して気
There's
づいた
something
こ
I
とがある
noticed when I was going back through the footage. This one's nice and logical.
なん
I
せ
got
ちゃん
real
とした
proof
証
after
拠が
all.
あるからな
Heh.
小さい
You're a
男だ
pretty little
な
petty little man, aren't you? Yes. Heh. Say what you like. He didn't say no. It's finally time to tell Ito what I found.
だ
Where's the image I made yesterday that had a nice picture
綺
of
麗
a
に写
sticker?
ってる例のシールの画像は
Do you know what this is?
これ
Ito looked at the pictures for a moment, uncertain.
見覚えあるな
I've seen that before. Where was it? He used his Pokecom to run a search.
そう
Yeah, that's a sumo wrestler sticker, right? Yep.
そう呼ばれてる
That's what they call it, or sumo sticker
何
for
の目
short.
的で貼られ
No
て
one
る
knows
か
who's
わから
putting
ない
them up or
謎
why.
期限は諸説あるけど
There are a lot of theories about where they came from, but the first time they really showed up on the net was in 2007. At one point, they were famous enough that the TV stations were reporting on them, but after the 2009 Shibuya quake, everyone stopped talking about them. The city where the stickers were going up, the city where the stickers were going up had been destroyed. People had bigger things to talk about. But starting sometime last year, they started to appear in Shibuya again.
目的はいろいろ噂さ
There
れ
are a
て
lot
る
of different rumors about what they are, of course. Some people say they're just a prank, others say there's some form of tagging or a spiritual barrier of sort. The act of painting the mark of an individual or symbol on a wall or on a public property. Marks painted in this way are called tags, sometimes considered a kind of street art. Since the vast majority of taggers don't get permission for their work, tagging is often a crime.
変わったとこだと本当
One
に
of the
力士
stranger
の人
ones
が
is
自
the
分
theory
の
that
顔
it's
を貼って
actually
る
a
説って
sumo
の
wrestler
もあ
putting
る
up stickers of his own face.
でもこれは違うと
But
僕は
I
思
don't
ってい
think
て
that's right. I think somebody would have noticed that one.
力士シールなんて呼ばれ
They
ては
call
いる
these
けれ
things
ど
sumo wrestler stickers, but that's just because the man in them has a fat face. There's no actual proof that they're modeled after a sumo wrestler.
力士
ちょっとストップ
Hold it for a second. You definitely just hit stop.
ちょっとストップ
Joe cut me off just as I was getting started. Come on, man, it was just about to get good.
いやそれ
Who
が何だっつ
cares?
うん
Do
だ
these stickers have anything to do with the case?
わからない
I don't know. Huh?
まだわからない
I still don't know,
でも
but
なこっちみんなの
the
現場
sticker
付近に
placed
あ
near
った
the scene
力
of
士シー
Don't
ルは
Look at Me was... That one?
これ
This is a blown up version of the picture. I showed you from the Don't Look at Me case. It's the wall outside the karaoke place I went to.
力士シール
Never gets translated to stop. Yeah. Just how it goes, I guess. Is that a sumo sticker? Yes. Yeah, it's a little blurry, but I'm sure of it.
おい
Wait, you're not telling me.
あ
Yep, there was one near the Love Hotel too. Placed at a spot where I could see the
あや
crime
っぱり
scene.
現場が見える位置に
じゃあ
Then
あれか
what? What about leaky
元々の
noise?
いやそれも
No,
ま
I
だ
don't know
わか
about
ら
that
ない
one yet. I looked
昨日
yesterday and I
調べたん
couldn't
だ
find
けど
anything at the scene of the
少なくと
incident,
も
but
今まで撮った現場周りの2つ続いた偶
I
然
just
に
learned
か
that
け
if
て
something
みるの
happens
はありだ
twice,
っ
it's worth
て
betting on, right?
今回証
Ito fell silent as if he was thinking about something. Ah, I was hoping to be a little more surprised, but I guess that's the best I could expect. Maybe there's too much new information coming in at once for him to keep up.
ちなみに
By the way, the incident that occurred 6 years ago on the same date was, crucified,
貼
so
り付けだから
yeah, that was, the first incident we really encountered. kind of an important moment in Chaos
そ
Head.
の概要が
And here's the summary of the case.
今のところ日付はとも
For
か
now,
く
the dates match,
事
but
件
the
の
actual
内容に
cases
関
don't
して
seem to
は
have much to do with what
6年
happened
前と
6
そ
years
こま
ago.
でリンクしてないように
Demon
思え
Girl, yeah.
集団ダイブと同
Don't
じ
look
日
at me
付の
happened
こ
on
っ
the
ちみん
same
な
day
は
as the group
被
died,
害者
but there
は
was
一
only
人だ
one
し
victim, and we don't know
そ
for
れに
sure
ま
that
だ
it
自
was
殺と決
suicide.
まっているわけではないし妊娠男
The
と同じ
pregnant
日付
man
の
happened
乙
on
女
the
で
same
た
day
の
as the
は
leaky noise, but while
部
both
分
of
に
them
物を
involved
埋め込ん
something
だっていう点は
stuffed
一緒
into
だけ
the
ど
stomach, the
そもそ
victim
も被
in
害
the
者は
latter
女
was
性
a
だ
girl.
貼り付けとラブ
And
ホ
I
の
don't
事
see
件は
anything in common
目立った
between
共通点は
Crucified
見つ
and
か
the
らない
Love Hotel incident.
だから
So
他に
since
事
we
件
can't
の
find
線
any
が
other
ない
way
以
to
上
proceed with the case, I
歴
think
史
we
シール
should
から
try
もう
seeing
一
where
度
the
事件を
sumo
探って
stickers
み
take
るのも
us.
ありだと思う
But maybe I was overthinking this. There was no telling what else would be related to the case. Just in case, I decided to put up the data on the other new generation incidents from 6 years ago. October 10th, Vampire. October 23rd, Brain Dead. October 28th, Yummy Hand. November 4th, the DQN puzzle. Yeah, that should do it. I looked at the board and nodded in satisfaction.
現状の情報の整理は
Doesn't
こん
realize
な
the
もの
real
か
connection between Crucified and Love Hotel is that they're both inciting incidents of the game. Yeah, you're not wrong. That's about all we know for now.
コーヒー飲む人
Wants coffee. As I finished going over the information, Sarika got some cups ready. Oh no. Huh? Kazuki, who had been ignoring the conversation until now, suddenly stood up. She grabbed the cups from Sarika with a speed you'd never believe she possessed.
いいよ
Ah,
花
it's
ちゃん
fine, Hana. You always make us stuff to drink, right? Kazuki shook her head rapidly from left to right, and then motioned for Sarika to sit down. Good work.
おのえ
Oh no way, it's fine.
大丈夫
She's
だって
being nice enough to make
せっ
it
か
for
く
us.
用意してくれるんだから
Practically forced Sarika to sit down in her chair.
で
What?
も
But no, there was no way I was letting Sarika do any kind of cooking. Oh, so she's that character. How bad was she? She was so bad that I couldn't let her make coffee. She was so bad she once asked me what kind of dish I used to wash the vegetables. I breathed a sigh of relief as she reluctantly sat down. Even Kazuki was relieved enough that you could actually tell what she was feeling for once. She started to make the coffee. Turned around to see if Ito needed any. Can't even be trusted to make coffee. True, Ark. True. He was still thinking. He must have been thinking hard. He didn't even seem to notice that Sarika was making coffee, which normally would have been a cause for panic. I decided for now to put the coffee that Kazuki had made in front of him. He seemed to understand the situation and stretched out his hand.
な
Hey,
そのホテ
you
ル
still
の
got
現場
that
で
footage
録
of the
画した
hotel
映
room,
像
right?
まあな
Yeah, it's on my Pokecom and smartphone.
Pokemon
I deleted all the other copies for safety reasons. Ito glared at my Pokecom for a moment and then turned towards me.
見せてくれ
Let me see it. I wasn't sure what to do. He must have been able to sense my uncertainty.
警察から口止
Did
め
the
され
cops
て
tell
る
you
の
not to tell anyone what happened?
うん
Yeah, but
いや
no, that's
で
not
も
the issue.
気にしてるの
I
は
already
そこ
told
じ
you
ゃ
what
ない
happened, for one thing. It's
大
more
体
like,
なんていうか
I don't know
俺を見ちゃう
if
と
you see this. In a TV show or movie, this is where the hero would say, "There's no going back." Undergoing a shocking event changed the way you felt about the rest of your life. When you learned a hidden secret, it changed you. Just like when I'd learned about my parents.
ゴーだろ
It's a go. Let me see it. Excuse me. Ito saw that I was hesitating and cut me off.
お前らは直接見てきた
You
もん
saw
な
it
ん
in
だろ
person, right? I want to see
俺
it
も見
too.
ておきたい
Didn't seem like he was going to change his mind.
分かった
Okay.
じゃあ
Alright,
PC
let's look at it in the
モニ
computer
ターで
monitor. It'll be
大
easier
きい
to see on
方
the
が
bigger
見
screen,
やすい
right?
でしょ
Sarika, the only person who didn't seem to understand the gravity of the situation, spoke up. Maybe she just didn't think it was important.
しんちゃんは部員だよ
Psh, I've already seen it.
見ない
Whatever.
と
Shin's a club member, right? He has to see it. Yeah.
だな
Ito smiled as if he'd relaxed a little. Yahoo, wouldn't that be great? He brought his hand up to his cheeks and gave them a slap to psych himself up.
よし
Okay,
じゃあ一時
you
的
can
に
copy
デ
it
ス
to
ク
the
トップ
desktop
に
for
コピーし
now.
よ
I'll
う
shut down this
今
browser.
ブラウザ閉じて
Then he froze.
あ
おい
Huh?
やばい
Shit, look at
Wait.
this.
見ろこ
Ito
れ
pointed to the monitor, his voice shaking. I think they have two computers. Sarika and I hurried behind him to see what he was looking at, and gulped. What?
この
What's this?
動画
What is this video?
わかんね
I don't know.
Ima-
It just showed up on the
Ikinari
aggregator
Matomei
wiki. The curtains opened and the man appeared. Oh, there's no mistaking it. It was that room in the Love Hotel. Shibuya Serial Deaths Aggregator Wiki. That's, oh, okay. The site is an aggregator for the strange deaths that have been occurring since September 2015 in Shibuya. Anyone can edit the site. Please consider the value of information you upload. Summary up to this point. Timeline of incidents. Sorry, I got like a tickle on the back of the throat tonight. News broadcast aggregator, Don't Look at Me, the Nico Nia livestream suicide, Leaky Noise, street musician public suicide, Love Hotel hanging incident. About the incidents, oh, they even got his name. Unconfirmed information about Otani's fortune telling, suicide or murder, relationship to the new gen madness, Don't Look at Me, Leaky Noise, Love Hotel phone interviews, and edit history. Swear it's fine all day. I don't feel sick, I just got a cough. Maybe that is her, yeah. It's definitely from through the window. His face is definitely, looking fine. It was that room in the Love Hotel. The man must have been Kakita. I couldn't see her face, but was that the girl? Where? It had to be. Her clothes matched what I remembered. Hey, what the hell? Oh, it's animated. At least slightly. Oh, the curtain was animated. The bed spun around and the wire dug into Kakita's neck. There was no sound in the video, but I could hear the sound of the wire in the music box in my mind. Kakita's face took on a color very similar to what I'd seen in person, and the footage ended. What? What the hell is this? Are you kidding me? Hey, Miyashiro! I almost jumped off the ground. Oh, sorry. What the hell is this? Did you make this video? Ito yelled at me hysterically. I quickly shook my head. Of course not. I was inside the room. Then what the hell is it? I don't know. How would I? Serika's hand suddenly stretched out. Hey, what are you doing? Stop! Calm down! Taku, Shin, no fighting! Is she choking them both out? She grabbed us both by the cheek and pinched hard. Okay. That makes more sense. Ow, ow! That really hurts! Did you calm down? No more yelling? No more fighting? This is really painful. Please stop. The Vulcan death grip. Ito and I nodded and Serika let go. What was that for? Because you two were yelling. But you can't just... Ito rubbed his cheek and gave Serika an angry glare. She must have grabbed him really hard because I could see a red mark forming in the shape of her hand. Did that mean I had one of those too? No fighting. You two looked like you were about to start hitting each other, you know? Serika repeated. She didn't seem to think that she'd done anything wrong at all. No, maybe she hadn't. Kazuki gave Serika a thumbs up. Yep, Serika gave her a satisfied thumbs up in return. I don't get it. You know, you're going to be the kind of mom who says hitting is wrong as she beats up her kid. Ito's words impressed me. It was one of the most accurate predictions I'd heard in years. Serika frowned and said that she'd never do that. So anyway, what is this? She pointed at the monitor. She didn't seem too bothered by it. She must have been used to seeing gory videos because she looked pretty calm. I rubbed my cheeks as I looked on. This is being filmed from outside, right? It's definitely the room you were in. Why would they put the bed right in front of the window? Wouldn't you offset that a bit? Right there? I mean, I guess exhibitionists exist. I nodded a little uncertain. Pretty sure that the body was like that too. Shit, what is this? Hey, shouldn't we save that file? Yeah, you're right. There's no telling when it'll be deleted.
こんなもんい
That
つ
was enough
消
to
される
bring
かわ
Ito
かん
back
ね
to his senses. He saved the file to the PC with a slightly more unsteady hand than usual. Kazuki was still playing her game, but the rest of us stared at the download bar as it filled up little by little. And when it finished, the file was saved. That's true, leaves the option open. This wasn't just somebody playing a prank, right? Sarika knew better than anyone else that it was no such thing, but she asked anyway. I nodded firmly. Hey, who took this? Wait, who posted it? Ito frowned.
ハッカーじゃ
I'm
ない
no
か
hacker.
な
All we amateurs could figure out is that that's the IP address, right?
IP
There's no way we
アド
could
レス
use
くらい
that
だ
to track them down. Windows are never opened? Yeah, true. You're right. Sometimes the media would say that the police used an IP address to track down a criminal's address. But strictly speaking, that wasn't quite right. Under some special circumstances, like a customer paying for a static address, it was possible, but most of the time you couldn't track down an individual PC from an IP address. Well, into that, yeah. And even if you could, the most you could track down was a PC, not a person. Several years ago, this had led to a very famous false arrest case. What the heck were we supposed to do now? I scratched my head confused.
おい
Hey, while we're at it,
ついて
let's
た
look at
見
the
ちゃ
other
おう
one.
ぜ
Huh?
お前がラブホテ
The
ルで
video
撮った
you
動
took
画
at
だ
the
よ
Love Hotel. I already saw the last
映
one.
像を見ちゃっ
I
た
don't think
後だ
anything could bother me
もっ
now.
とにでもなれだ
It does sound like he was having a hard time believing what he'd seen was real. He'd already copied the file off the Pokecom and gone to open it. He probably was just overwhelmed. I know that was how I'd been.
間近で撮ってるから
I took it up close, so it's pretty brutal.
相当だぞ
I gave him a warning, and he responded with a firm nod. He clicked on the file.
しんちゃん
Shin,
本当
are
に
you sure?
ああ
Yeah,
多分な
probably. I think she
文
was
化
a
系だっ
humanities
たよ
student.
な
Ito was moving at a quick pace. His expression was serious, but he was having trouble hiding his excitement.
そんなことあ
Is
る
that
の
really possible?
んだよ
Come on,
マ
it's
ジだ
true,
っ
man.
て
We were following Ito down the hallway quickly. After seeing the video of the room in the Love Hotel, he'd said, I know that girl.
こいつ
I know this
知
girl.
ってるぞ
It was close. I feel like even if I saw someone I recognized, if I saw her like bloodshot eyes bleeding, I feel like that makes it harder to recognize a person. But you know, maybe I'm wrong. He said that he knew the girl who'd been in the room with us. That couldn't be true. Sarika and I had insisted he was mistaken, but Ito wouldn't listen.
部会で見
I
か
saw
け
her
た
at a
気が
club
するんだ
leaders
よ
meeting, I think. Even if he was right, the club leaders meeting was where all the leaders of the school clubs and teams got together. If she was there, did that mean she was a leader in some club? I asked Ito, but he just smirked a little.
わかんねえぞ
We don't know that. Our president in the newspaper club is terrible at talking to groups of people, and our vice president was in charge of the meeting itself.
ただの部員である俺が出
So I
てい
had
る
to
とこ
go
ろが
even
あ
though
るん
I'm
だ
just
か
an
ら
ordinary member. Maybe there's someplace else like that.
苦手じゃない
I'm not terrible at it, I just,
なん
well,
ていうか
didn't like it. It made me nervous. Being in front of all those people, I mean. And everybody knows those meetings never actually lead to anything productive. If you made a movie out of one of them, no one would go see it.
なんてい
You
う
just,
か
what?
いいだろ
Forget it! And anyway, where are you going?
ここだ
Here. Guess we're there. Ito suddenly stopped. It was the student council room on the 6th floor of the annex building.
なんで
Why?
部活紹介とかの
They
書
got
類が
pictures
写
of all
真
the
付
club
きで置い
members
てある
here.
んだ
It'll
よ
be faster than searching
校
the
内
whole
中
school,
探す
right?
よりいいだろ
But wait a second. I pulled Ito away from the door.
バカ
You idiot, what if Kurusu's
い
in
たら
there?
どうするんだよ
Ito gave a little moan.
それはお前がなんとか
If that
任せよ
happens, you just try and fool her somehow.
だからそれができ
If I
る
was
くら
even
いだったら
remotely
最初か
capable
ら
of that, we wouldn't need...
入ります
Excuse me. Onoe ignored us completely and walked into the room. Damn, now what? We just have to pray she wasn't here. Huh? Our eyes met and I suddenly forgot how to breathe. She does continue to be the best, yeah. Why? It was that girl. Oh. Oh. Okay. I feel like this is a point where we save at. What do we got? We got a vote for red. We got a vote for Viper drinking some tea, obviously. It's a very good vote. Seventh going blue. So, I'm assuming red is just like... I don't even know. Red will be like, she's some sort of like murderer come here to just end everything, and blue will be like, oh, I'm so thankful you guys found me and helped me out. I don't know. It's the best I got. Well, looks like we got a tie, so let's go back to random.org. And once again, 1, 2, 3 blue, 4, 5, 6 will be red. 4, alright. Oh, actually we had a tiebreaker anyway, so both the tiebreaker and the random agree that red is the option here, so that's what it is.
Takuru?
Takuru?
あなたた
What
ちも
brings you through here?
え、
いや
Oh, no. What brings you through here? Oh, no. The woman, no, the girl stared at us suspiciously. And then, for the first time, she realized that I couldn't take my eyes off her. What's wrong with you
何
people?
を
Oh, it was doomed either way. I thought it was a tie and we rolled red, but then we had a tiebreaker that broke it to red anyway. So either way, Sora, it was gonna be red. The words wouldn't come out. What do I say? Why was she here? Why was she acting so normal? Sometimes you need a little bit of red to spice up the night. That started about how I figured the red one would start. Wow, English. Without warning, the girl started to laugh. I finally found you. We've gone full yonder. I found you. Everyone froze. Even Kurisu seemed uncertain of what to do as she stared at the girl. The girl jammed her hand inside her pocket, and she took out a butterfly knife. She pointed the blade right at me.
Miyashiro Takuru.
Takuru Miyashiro,
死ねよ。
it's time for you to die. Was she really a murderer then? I tried to run. I tried to turn around and run right out of the room, but unfortunately, Ito was in my way. I ran straight into him and fell backwards to the ground. Crap! Alarm bells were going off in my head. I liked the concept of those two fully colliding, and Ito still being perfectly fine, and Taku just like, ugh! Excuse me. Red was the choice, I guess so. CSGO player. I've never played CSGO, but I played CS Source for quite a ways back in college. Run, 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 run. Get off the ground and run. Taku needs to die. Had to have it. Gotcha. Oh, he's gonna die. I felt something cold up against my neck.
バイバイ。
Bye bye. Then came the pain. I felt strangely detached and indifferent as I watched the blood spurt out of my own neck. Oh, well, there you go. He died. Yep. Even though I knew it was just something I'd imagined, it still gave me goosebumps. Something like that could really happen right now. I just wanted anybody to give me an explanation.
のんちゃん。
No, do you know her? Bye bye. Oh yeah, see, we had a LAN club in college, so playing anything in a LAN setting makes it better. And while I had heard a lot of people say that Source wasn't as good as 1.6, I started with Source, so I didn't really know. And it was fun enough for what it was. So I didn't know any better. It was enjoyable in that setting, but I don't think I'd ever play it outside of a LAN setting. Very stressful. And people are too good at it. It's one of those games that there are just so many people who are too good at it. Sarika motioned towards the girl.
ええ、後
Yeah,
輩。
she's
2
Hine
年生で文芸部部長の有村ひなえさん。
Arimura. She's a second year who leads the literature club. Oh no, she's in the literature club. That in fact only makes that delusion slightly more possible.
どうもで
Oh,
す。
hello. But she does have fangs. The girl bowed to us.
クルス先輩のお友達です
Are you
か？
friends of Kurusu's?
ええ。そっちが新聞部部員で3年の伊藤真二君。
She likes
同じく部
reading.
員で2年の尾
Oh,
上セリカ。
yes. Oh, they apparently just came out with a Monica Nendoroid, which includes like the cracked face look and like, ooh, it's pretty cool for an android. That's Shinji Ito and Sarika Onoe. He's in 3rd year and she's in 2nd year. They're both in the newspaper club.
で、
And this is Takeru Maeshiro, the club president, my little brother and a
身
boy
の
who
程を
doesn't
知ら
know
な
his
い私
place.
の愚弟。
Kurisu's eyes narrowed and she glared at me.
弟さん、
He's your brother, but your last name's...
養護施設の。
I'm an orphanage, you see.
へえ。
Huh? So you're siblings, but not actually related, huh? Sounds kind of
なんかいやら
naughty,
しいですね。
doesn't it? Oh, so she's that character. Got it. She's the Frau. Understood.
小説とかと一緒
Please
に
don't
しない
act like this is some kind of novel. But still, doesn't it seem kind of naughty? She asked with a wink. What? Why? What are you doing here? She's got a hoodie, so it has to be. I wiped my sweaty hands on my pants and tried to ignore my pounding heart.
な
What are you
何して
doing?
いや、
Damn it. Get the words out.
タクル？
Takeru? Sarika seemed to understand what I was trying to say and finished my sentence for me.
有村さんは
What are you
何し
doing
に
here,
ここに来たんで
Arimura?
すか？え？クルス先輩に
Yeah, I was
文化
talking
祭
to
のことで
Kurusu about the
話が
culture
あったんだよ。
Oh, okay.
うん？
Well, whatever. I'll be going,
じゃあ
I
私は
guess.
これで。
Sorry,
クルス
Kurusu.
先輩、すいませんで
Kurusu
し
waved a
た。
hand and told her not to worry.
事情があるなら仕
If you
方ない
can't
で
do
し
it,
ょ
you。can't. I'll tell the teachers that the
文芸部は
literature
文化
club
祭に
won't be
参加できない
participating in the
と
culture
話が
festival,
と。
but
おい、
yes.
どうしても
You're absolutely sure you can't tell me what's going on, right?
痛いけな乙女の
We
秘密
girls
と
have
い
our
うこ
secrets, you
とで。
know.
了解。
Alright, but I won't be
で
able
も
to help you next
来
year,
年は
okay?
はい、
Right,
ありがとう
bye-bye.
ございました。
The girl put her bag on her shoulder and bowed to us, then went to leave.
あ、
Takeru. On the inside, he's like, I'm the best, I'm the greatest, I'm better than anyone, I'm so smart, I'm so cool, I'm so awesome. On the outside, but wait, I still haven't asked you about the things I need to. Her name, it was...
あ、有村さん
I like how you can hear the voice cracking.
あ、有村さん
That can't be easy to do on command. Like, sure, it happens accidentally, but like, that can't be easy to do. I've never tried, to be fair. My voice was loud enough that I made her jump a little.
びっくりした。
That scared me. You got a lot of energy.
ごめんなさい。
Oh, sorry. Yeah, how do you even do it
別
intentionally?
にいいんですけど。
No, it's fine. What is it?
大声
I'm sorry I was so loud. I mean, no.
いや、じゃなくて
Listen,
ですね。
My face was turning red from
So-
nervousness. Damn it, this was always what happened the first time I talked to someone. What should I ask? Oh. Here we go. How should this go?
その
um,
ホテルで
in the hotel. I feel like we've already gone red on her. Where else would he even go with that? Probably nowhere great, but you know. I mean, the last time we did red, we died. So... I'm just gonna assume Soul would go blue too. Hate to say, Ramen, looks like you are well and truly outpaced this time around.
ホテル？
Yeah, Soul would say, but the hotel?
何し
What
てたん
were
で
you
すか
doing in that hotel?
あのホテルで
I felt like her body moved for just a moment.
有村さん？
Arimura? I could see Kurusu frown in the corner of my eye. She was looking at me. Her expression hadn't changed, but for some reason it felt like she was looking me over. And then she smiled.
気になります？
Do you want to know?
そりゃ
Well... Just as I spoke, she leaned over and whispered in my ear. Oh no.
だったら
Then why don't we go together next time?
二人
Huh? I mean, I get the tone the delusion's going for, but the last time she was in a room with an unconscious police officer and a dead man, so I don't think she's giving quite the tone you're aiming for. I don't care how the music sounds.
何
What?
なんて言ったの
What did she say? It's a
私と
secret
宮代
between
先
me
輩
and
だけの秘
Miyashiro.
密です
Wow, that was a short one. I considered that as a possibility, but quickly abandoned it. I couldn't imagine her doing something like that after what I'd seen at the hotel. Something much worse was going on there. An awkward silence ensued as we waited for her to
あ
answer.
なただったんですか
So you were
部
the
屋に入
Henkito
ったって
student
い
who
う
came
う
into
ち
the
の
room.
生徒は
Her tone of voice was perfectly normal. There was no surprise or anger, just a flat, level tone. But somehow that struck me as much worse.
言葉に出してもらってもいいです
Can you
か
say that aloud for me? Were you the
部屋
one
に
who
入った
went
の
into that
はあ
room?
なたですか
What?
そ
That's right.
そうですか
I see. I couldn't tell if she cared or not.
あの
So what were you doing in that
ホ
hotel?
テルで
部屋のドアが勝手に
I
開
heard
い
the
て
door opened on its own,
それで
and that's how
入
you
れた
got
そう
in.
ですね
Is that true?
え
Huh? The door? The door opened on its own? She knew about that? I nodded.
言葉に出しても
Can
ら
you
っ
say
て
that
もい
out
いです
loud?
か
Huh?
本
It's
当だよ
true. It opened from the inside.
そうですか
I see. And then she seemed to be looking me over again. What was going on here?
有村さん
Arimuras, is there
何
something...
かあなたじゃあ
Anyway,
失礼します
goodbye. Arimura ignored Kurisu's question and went to leave.
ちょ
Wait, what do you mean?
ああ敬語
Oh,
い
no
らな
need
い
to
で
be
す
so
よ
polite. I'm
そ
younger
れに
than
呼び
you
捨て
and
でいいです後輩じゃないですか
I'm
それから
going to
あ
kill
な
you.
た
Oh,
殺されますよ
I was joking.
八代拓
I
郎
was
先輩
joking. I was joking. I was joking. I was joking. I was just kidding. Game? Game. I was kidding. Stop. You're going to be killed, Takeru Miyashiro. Welp. Welp. Those were her last words before she left the room. She didn't seem at all surprised that I had questioned her, but I froze solid. Who put this on Hachiko? Man, don't mess up the dog statue. That's not cool. Club president, palace and castle. Where's the truth? A searcher of the real world. It's twippo.jp. Ah, yes, Twippo. Trends, New Generation, Shibuya Murders, Episode 7 commentary. Speaking now. Thank you? Why thank you, question mark? Also, Episode 7 of what? Definitely an anime. Hachibase, iTunes, Rhine, and Japanese name folders. And there's something behind the top left. Creepy AF. Cat Ebisu? This is a sumo sticker, isn't it? It actually looks kinda cute. Congrats on 500 retweets. Spam link. What the heck is this thing? Who put this on Hachiko? Sumo Woofer. Congrats on 1,000 retweets. Give me a break. I loved Hachiko, but I don't care about this creepy dog. Who put this on Hachiko? Lololo. What's up with this thing? Cute, huh? This is hilarious. Retweet Cat Ibisu. Who put this on Hachiko? Lolololo. They capture the feeling of the internet very well. All of the games in the series have captured 8chan to a T. I mean, I guess we haven't seen a bunch of, like, gore, but barring... well, not from 4chan, at least. Barring that, it's captured the vibe. Danganronpa, Shibuya. The sky had been overcast all day, and now it had finally begun to rain. For what it's worth, maybe the website's changed in recent years. Like, I haven't actually... I used to go there in, like, late high school, early college. And I feel like it nails the vibe perfectly, but also, I don't know if it's changed in, like, the decade since then. Maybe it's got a different vibe. I like to think it probably hasn't. But I don't know. I feel like of all the places on the internet, 8chan is probably the most resilient to any type of change. It's probably going to be a wretched hive of scum and villainy for the end of time. Some of the news media that had been swarming around the Love Hotel decided it was a good time to go home. Others just took refuge in their vans, frowning. Meanwhile, to go no context, true. but not specifically from that channel. But yeah, that's true. Shinjo's mind raced as quickly as the men trying to flee the storm.
どういうことなんだ?
To be scared, yeah, and it definitely won't change for the better. What's going on here? Everything had started right after midnight. Ine Amura, the Hekiho girl, had refused to give even her name until he'd relayed Momose's message to her, but as soon as she heard it, her attitude changed. His only choice now was to continue to do everything Momose's kid told him to do. The first thing she'd said was that there was almost no chance Amimura was the killer. Excuse me, and that it was safe to let her go. The second thing she said was that it would be smarter to let her go and see what she did. The third thing she'd said was that even if he did get some answers out of her, he wouldn't be able to make sense of them. Shinjo had used every bit of his authority to get her released. He'd been forced to suck up to some people he really didn't like, and in the end, she would be monitored and questioned by the police daily. Oh, that sounds awful. That almost sounds worse than not letting her go. Like, if you're gonna let me go, stop bothering me. Since they hadn't known if she had anything to do with Kakita's death, I'm gonna get that name wrong every time, they'd used her assault on the police officer to bring her in. Either way, the last evening marked 48 hours since her arrest. They had to decide whether to let her go or seek a warrant for detention. They hadn't found any physical evidence connecting her to Kakita's murder, and Harimura herself said, "I don't remember anything." That was all she'd said, in fact. Provisional release at this point felt a bit of a stretch of his authority, but it was a sensible decision. If anything here wasn't sensible, it was the fact that he was doing everything Momose's acquaintance asked of him. He didn't have a plan to follow. This was the first time that had happened, he thought. He only managed to be successful at his age around what Momose called the hard heads in Section 1, was that he knew how to be flexible. The reason that many police officers could be stubborn and hard-headed was that most of the time, that was how you solved a case. Shinjo understood that the rules they clung to so fiercely, both written and unwritten, were the product of valuable experience. But he also understood that the unorthodox method his senior detective friend had taught him were a weapon in their own right. Even if the higher-ups didn't like him using them, they had brought him success. One good example is the time the profilers had told him that the person behind a string of assaults was a man in his 20s who never left his house. Taku. He found out that the culprit was actually a runaway girl in her late teens who lived in a net cafe. Taku with an alternate personality? I don't know. A dick diary to live by, yeah. If only he had listened to those dick dictums. The social safety section deals with crimes involving minors, particularly drug crimes and cyber crimes like illegal computer access. He'd matched the internet logs that the Section 1 had gathered with the data he had held by the social safety section, a group that was on notoriously bad terms with Section 1. In the end, he'd cracked the case by logging into an online game and tracking down several of its players, including the girl behind the attacks. Are we positive this isn't Taku? Shinjo was, if nothing else, confident that he was capable of not letting preconceptions keep him from making the best choice. But this time, not only did he not know what was the best choice, he didn't even know if the choices he was making were good or bad. This is ending up just like Momose said it would. If he couldn't change things fast, he might end up taken off the case. He looked at his watch and realized something. The man he was waiting for wasn't here. It had cost him quite a bit to get permission to show him the crime scene, and he was over 30 minutes late. Momose said that there was no way I could miss him. He didn't know what he looked like, but there was no way the officer standing guard outside could miss him. Hey, wait, you! He heard a loud voice from the hallway. Shinjo decided that before he let him get into the scene, he'd give him a lecture about his tardiness. He stopped, surprised. A girl? He didn't expect to see what he saw. He'd convinced himself that anyone weird enough to want to see a crime scene had to be a guy. But she looked like she'd be very pretty with the makeup on, even if she wore none now. A frown was plastered on her face, and her long hair was half-heartedly tied behind her back. Maybe? She was wearing a white lab coat, but under it was a uniform, and isn't that That was a uniform from Hekiho Academy, the same school that every single important person in this game goes to. Arimura and the 2 kids who snuck into the crime scene attended. Literally the school that's like a few blocks away. It's not shocking that everyone around here. Shinjo motioned to the officer to let her pass, and remember, tonight I can't English, and remember the last name he'd been given by Momosai. Are you Kunosato?
Yeah.
Turn. Yeah, I'll leave it to you all. So,
you don't need my confirmation.
Yep. Hold on.
Yeah. I leave it to you all. So, you don't need my confirmation.
Huh?
Glorious. Huh?
There's no time to waste, as you know. Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic. That is the exact reaction you should have.
Well,
yep.
I gotta nurse this damn cop. Okay. Later, Chris.
I think she's on the phone, I guess. Yeah. I gotta nurse this dumb cop. Whew. Maybe that's why he thought it was going to be a man, because the size of the balls on this chick. Yeah, I gotta deal with this dumb cop. He's inches behind you. Nurse that dumb cop. Oh, yeah, context. And then she hung up the phone and glared at Shinjo. She showed no sign of apologizing for her lateness, or gawking at the scene of a murder. This was her. It had to be. When he saw how arrogantly she was behaving, he knew immediately that this had to be the Kunosato person that Momosai told him about. Second D&D tool open beta test coming. Cool. Nifty. I'll probably wait for the full game, and I don't know, like, I like the character designs. It didn't strike me immediately, but Potion sings its praises very highly. Potion straight up was just like, I haven't had more fun than that in a fighting game, like, in years. So, like, that's a hell of a thing to say about a game. So as much as I'm not trying to add, like, more fighting games to the roster, it sounds like that one I might add. We'll see. He felt a little overwhelmed by her, but tried to make his voice as strong as he could. Are you Kurosato? Knowing Momosai, I figured I'd be ready for anything, but I can't let a young girl into a crime scene. But you were going to let a young man into a crime scene. Ah, sexist. Don't act normal when you're surrounded by things that aren't normal. Didn't she tell you that would get in your way? Hey! She ignored Shinjo's words and walked right past him. She stepped right on top of the number plates that forensics had put on the ground to identify the locations of evidence. Then she looked at the blinds placed on the window to stop the media from looking inside and stopped. Shinjo felt himself becoming annoyed at her attitude, particularly what she just said about him in English. Yeah. Dumb cop or not, you're gonna do what I tell you, right now. People think that every corpse is dead. Yes, yes they do, actually. Huh? You've got ears that can understand English and you don't watch Venture? Fictional, David Venture, an American movie director. The line Kunosato said is from the hit psychological suspense movie Eat. Okay. Sure. I've seen Seven, but I don't remember like what line they're referencing. Seven's a hell of a movie though. Hell of a movie. She put her hand up to the blind that she'd been looking at. I also love the concept of like, oh, you understand English and you haven't seen this one movie? Ugh. Like, what? What are you doing? I'm asking if you really think this room is the only crime scene in this case. She kept her eyes on the exposed window. As she tossed him a Pokecom she'd fished out of her pocket. Shinjo grabbed it without thinking and looked down at it. There was... Yeah, the window being broken and open is obviously clearly like something else. Well, was the window... Yeah, the window was broken. There was glass around, but it was from the window and also kind of from the mirror too. was stunned. Yeah, exactly. What's the point of even speaking English if you're not going to see Seven? There's footage of the room he was in right now. That was probably Kakita, dead, and Hine Amara. What is this? A video that was just uploaded to the web. Her answer made Shinjo feel pissed off at everything, including himself. Yeah, the internet happens, I know. Why didn't he notice? Why did he have to be shown this by a girl who he just met? From outside the window. He grabbed onto the window frame, looking for the spot where the video had been recorded. But all he saw was the external wall of the building, slick with rain. It's got some really graphic scenes, but it was a fairly influential movie. But it does have what's-his-face? Kevin Spacey. So that's not great. And it's a shame because I'd argued he did a really good job in that movie, but it's one of those things of like, the present kind of taints the past a bit. It's like I grew up loving Bill Cosby comedy. I can't listen to it now. Can't do it. Can't laugh at that anymore. Grew up loving it. Absolutely can't listen to it now. Kinda ruined that forever. I mean, he ruined a lot of things forever, not just my appreciation of his comedy. But all I saw was the external wall of the building slick with rain. There was only some kind of strange, creepy sticker there. Ah. So there's no window on the other side. Hey! Shinjo yelled out into the hallway. Oh, so if those stickers are all filming stuff, didn't they already mention that the new Shibuya had way more cameras than before to begin with? Like, ignoring the fact that it sounds like these are cameras, didn't they already draw direct attention to the fact that there's already more surveillance cameras than there used to be? Then what's the point of putting up more and hiding them as stickers? I guess nobody expects it? Like, it would be if they had not drawn attention to it, or if they said like, oh, there were fewer security cameras, then weird. Excuse me. The officer outside heard the tone of his voice and rushed inside. Shinjo pointed at the window and said, seal off the building next door right now and get me forensics, and then track down where this video... I don't know about the video, but you're probably not going to find anything next door. There's no sign of a camera having been placed on that wall. I guess stickers can be secret and completely private. Yeah. That's fair too. Huh? I copied the data at the security entrance and Frisia's team is going over, but we're not going to find anything. Probably. I hope not. She must have been enjoying this because Kuno Sato's frown twisted into a mischievous bully's expression. Again, he didn't understand. He didn't have time for this. He ignored her and ordered his men to steal the building, call forensics, and track down where that video was filmed. With that finished, he turned back to her. Is that why you were late? Focus on securing the scene. @Chen picked up on this video right after it was posted, and it was uploaded only 40 minutes ago. Already more than 5,000 people have seen it. You don't think any of them are with those media people down below? Wait, you can't! Speak of the devil, I guess. Yeah, she's the one Frisia sent over. She's Momose's girl. She presumably works for them. I don't know what further relationship there is. She's the one that was telling him to ask the question he asked to the girl who was being held. So not Taku, yeah. This is Watabe with Nigonia News. I'd like your comment on... I'm with Kayuri TV. I'd like to ask you about... Get out! No pictures! You could hear yelling coming from the hallway. Damn it! That net reporter again. And a bunch of others, yeah. He just leans out the door and goes, Go home! Don't you have anything better to do? Shinjo ran out into the hallway, infuriated. Yeah, I was both looking forward to and dreading to seeing Taku again, so I'm kinda glad it's not him. Are you at Section 1? Did you see the video? Please don't come in without permission. We have no comment. No pushing. Did you see it or not? No comment. Kunosato was still looking outside the window. She listened to the commotion in the hallway. She stuck her hands in her pockets and stared at the sticker on the opposite wall the way a person on top of a tall building stares down at the tiny people in the street below. Hey, how does it feel? The sticker pictured two ugly, overlapping faces. The rain made it look like they were crying. If there was any witness, it's you, right? Kunosato smirked like a fighter facing down a worthy opponent. October 2nd, 2015, Friday. Time passed. It was now almost midnight. Under a bridge in Shibuya. Also, one second. I got like a stray hair. It's just being annoying. There we go. She walked with her head down so that others couldn't see her strange face. She was dragging her legs so her body tilted a little. This isn't the right day for another murder. She didn't have an umbrella, so the rain that had fallen that evening made her long bangs cling to her forehead. Water dripped off them. I mean, it shouldn't be. They said October 2nd, right? We shouldn't get another one until October 10th. If it's following the pattern, which maybe it won't. Maybe it breaks off from that just to screw them. The eerie eyes that poked out from between her locks of hair looked like those of an animal hunting its prey. No one was moving but her. Normally there would be people here at this hour, but the town left her alone, as if it had sensed something. I swear, I've just got a stray hair I can't place. She disappeared into an alley without anyone else noticing her. That bodes fine. It was several minutes later when they appeared there. I have questions. A girl less than 10 years old and an old woman well over 70. The old woman might have been blind because she carried a stick and had her hand on the girl's shoulder. I guess it's not Shogun if it's an old woman, but boy did they evoke that imagery. The little girl was carrying something far too big for her tiny frame. Neither of them were carrying umbrellas and both were soaking wet. They walked at a slow pace. Perhaps they knew the path well, or perhaps they simply didn't care because they paid no attention to anything around them. It sure do, yeah. And then, for the first time, the little girl saw something had stopped. The old woman stopped as well, and the only sound in the alley was the sound of the rain. The girl stood there for a full minute. Evidently, she turned her head and led the other woman away. Eventually, I can speak. All that was left was the rain. And a lot of stickers. And the things on the wall. Okay. Back here. What was that? Who were they? Why? Stickers. A video of the scene has been passed around on the internet. Just stop with the mic case. I don't know. Like, they didn't. Like, it doesn't say they did, but they could have. Like, they're definitely weird, but it doesn't actively say they did. Yeah. It looks that way, yeah. Video of the scene has been passed around on the internet. The footage in question shows the body of a man who committed suicide in a love hotel. It was past midnight. All the news programs were talking about the video that had been uploaded to the internet that afternoon. Since there was a dead body in the video, none of the programs were actually playing it, but the newscasters had all described it. It was as if they were telling people to watch the rest on the web. Which means that people who are just hearing about this now will be looking at the internet, huh? Who looks at the internet? Ugh. Twitter was the best way to see what people were saying at any given moment. I opened it and took a look. Where can you see the thing they're talking about on TV? This is getting exciting. Link. http www.wiki. I saw it, but I should have known better than to watch it this late at night. Someone tell me a funny joke or something. It's about what I expected. Whenever I searched for a keyword related to the case, I found tons of tweets about the video and the news broadcast. The address of any page or aggregator site hosting the video was getting retweeted at an incredible rate. Of course, this was nothing new. At-chan had already been in festival mode since the video had been first posted that evening, a state of furious excitement on an internet message board or site, where people are commenting en masse about a particular subject, inspired by the raucous jubilation seen on the streets during actual Japanese festivals. The video on the aggregator wiki had been quickly deleted, but someone had saved it and uploaded it to a bunch of other sites. Those sites had deleted it too, so others had repeated the process. Yeah, you can't delete something off the internet. After the news, the threads on 8chan had gotten bigger. Revolving Dead, huh? Sounds like it's going to be what they call it. Man, that just sounds like a long way to say speen, as was decided. I don't know who first came up with that name, but more and more people on 8chan were using it. Probably a play of the revolving bed and the body had been found. Since the body had been spinning too, the case was literally about the revolving dead. In our hearts, yes. 8chan, Twitter, and all the aggregator sites and pages detailing with the case were in an uproar. I looked around and didn't see any new information. I'd seen it in person myself. I could easily tell when someone was lying or guessing. It's past midnight, what about this? There were no big updates in Shibuya News either. The top of the page was about the uploaded video, but it was basically just a rehash of existing information. I thought that with all this fuss, she'd be putting on a web radio broadcast, but maybe she was busy. There was nothing about the sumo stickers or Arimura, which made sense, I guess. Even Kei wasn't psychic. Only we and the police knew about Arimura, and only we knew about the stickers, the sumo stickers. Damn it, I'd been planning on checking to see if there was a sticker around the scene of Leaky Noise today. You're going to be killed, Taku Mayashiro. I'm sure you'll be fine. I couldn't get the words she whispered out of my head. In the end, it had started raining and had gone with Ito's plan of trying to get more information about the video and learn more about Arimura. I hadn't made much progress with either. Of course, it had surprised me that Kurisu hadn't said anything. What did she mean? Going to be killed? The question came back to me again for the 100th time, and I still had no answer. What was she warning me about? Why had she told me I was going to be killed? Had I pissed her off somehow? No, it felt more like she was talking about someone else killing me. And maybe it didn't matter if she hated me or not. And the timing didn't make sense either. We weren't talking about anything weird. We were just talking about the case. Was she telling me that if I kept looking into this, I would be killed? That didn't make sense either. The police had ruled the death at the Love Hotel a suicide. It was a strange way to kill yourself, sure, and after seeing it, I couldn't believe it was just a simple suicide, but did that mean Kakita had been murdered after all? Murdered by whoever had tried to come into the room? But the police had told me I'd been mistaken, and Ito had told me I couldn't prove it logically. Damn it. It was no good. It didn't make any sense. I was going to be killed? Had I crossed some line? You're going to get killed, Takeru Mayashiro. Tried saying it aloud and shivered a little. Was I scared, or... was I excited? I could feel myself start to laugh. That was fine. That was just fine with me. If I'd crossed some line, I'd find out what it was. That was the difference between me and those morons on the internet. I could do it. I had lots of clues. The first was Hine Arimura herself, and then the sumo stickers. I'd only seen them at 2 of the crime scenes so far, but if I could find one at Leaky Noise too, I'd have a clue that no one else in the world had. I should go take a look tomorrow. And then there was the video that had gotten uploaded to the internet. Who had upped it and why?
Huh?
Play the video one more time, then realize something. Wait a second. Why? Here, too? There's a common thing you found in videos, so I never really noticed it until now, but I hadn't seen any comments on the internet saying anything about it either, but why did they use this effect? There's something weird at the start and end of the video. It was on screen for less than a second, but at the start the image appeared from bottom to top, and then at the end, went black from top to bottom. These weren't particularly unusual effects. The one at the start was often used in TV shows and movies when a character woke up. Of course, this was when the camera was showing his point of view. The one at the end was often used when a character was falling asleep or just before they passed out. Sometimes you could play both at high speed and make it look like someone was blinking. It's called a wipe. It was a method of transitioning video from one image to another. I mean, they have 4 eyes. Clearly they can see 4 times better.
You can feel it looking at you.
Eternal Darkness, still a gem of a game. Stand by it forever. So clearly for this month's clip video, instead of just fading between clips, we're going to do a blink wipe between all of them, right? And I haven't looked at like the view counts on the clips, but I can definitely tell you, I think we have more clips made this month than any prior month. Like, I'll still have to see which ones make it into the video by views, but like by sheer number, we definitely have more clips this month than any. After Action, Photo Store Element, Hachibase, Internet Escape. I love these. I love these. Photo Store Element, not Photoshop. No, 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 no. That's a copyrighted name. Photo Store. Video is clearly taken from next to the Love Hotel and almost perfectly at eye level. Term in video recording refers to the height of the camera is placed at. The size of those. That's why. From the distance and angle, that much was clear. I spent so much time looking through a camera that I knew how to judge the distance between it and the things it saw. I was sure that if I asked the rest of the newspaper club, they'd agree. The side of the building where this video was taken was a sheer wall. I could see that for myself in the video I'd taken. The only thing I could see outside the windows were a wall and a sticker. The uploaded video looked like it had been taken from someone's eyes. Suddenly, a dumb idea occurred to me. Whose eyes were those eyes? Microsoft Escape. Escape from bad web browsers. Yeah. Microsoft, what is it called now? Edge or whatever? Like, it's just so not good. But it really wants, Microsoft really wants you to use it, but it's like, if you want people to use it, why don't you make it good? You see that there are these other free web browsers out there that do it good. You could do that, and then people might use your web browser. It's like the Epic Games Store. They keep trying to convince people to use it by buying exclusivity, giving out free games, but they don't make it good. If you made it a good storefront for buying games and a good overlay the way Steam has it, people might want to use it. No. We'll just force people to use it. It's fine. I looked at the picture of the sticker on the wall that I printed out. Nah. I shook my head to drive away the stupid delusion. I needed to stay calm and logical. Tomorrow I could go see where the camera had probably been placed. Control support configuration, right? Like... Just gotta make it not screw up people's computers. Oh, does it do that too? Well, hello. That's the sound I expected that to make. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you've had to actually deal with it. Okay, Amy. One person in chat, Amy. Ed Lucas has joined the chat. I apologize for being late. The test images spreading through Shibuya as expected. Continue to monitor the situation. Yes. And the target? No issues. There's no sign they know my identity. I'm close enough to kill Taku Miyashiro at any time. Okay. Okay. Cool. Ah, this will be the opening then. Or not. Does it just straight block everything after the first chapter? Man, they were like to just be like, nah. Alright, well, we still haven't seen the opening and we're in chapter 2. If you ask me, all the people in my class were ignorant children. This took a quick turn, yeah. When I was in 4th grade, only about 1 in 6 kids had a smartphone. Much of them would use their phones during breaks to pull up secret web pages made by the kids at school or dumb joke sites. They'd pass them around the class to become the center of attention, and each would be the leader of their own little group. Falling straight off the deep end. Yeah, One day, one of these leaders was upset because he couldn't visit a site he'd been able to access the day before. Some of the kids in his group suggested that it was broken or that maybe the address had changed. I told him, it's internet filtering. Your parents contacted the cell phone company to limit your online access. The act of setting standards for evaluating and selecting web pages and using that to restrict access to information. Here used to refer to the act of restricting access to pages deemed harmful to minors, which is usually done by parents, guardians, or cellular phone companies. OP will be at like the 70% mark or something? It might be. Maybe it doesn't have one, but I just assume it does. It played a short little video bit at the beginning of the first stream, but that wasn't really like an OP. That was more just like a lead up to the title screen. You don't really see much of it, but Steins Gate Zero had the same thing. I didn't really pay attention too much to the other ones, but like Steins Gate Zero also had just a short thing that wasn't the OP that led up to the title screen. The leader looked stunned for a moment, but then he yelled at me to not make stuff up. The rest of the group joined in. I knew I was right. I wasn't making anything up. I didn't understand why they were yelling at me. Later I realized that I was the class misfit, and he was the boss of his little group, and he didn't like that I'd shown him up. I only went to school once in a while, but when I did, something like that always happened. I was sick of it. I wanted to show the rest of the class I was better than they were. Ah, it begins. I wanted to shock all those wrong-siders. When I snuck inside, I found a place filled with true darkness, unlike any I'd ever experienced. I could hear her gasp behind me. You okay? Oh man, I hope this isn't a specific hotel they snuck into. I hope there's another hotel in Shibuya. Serika didn't answer. She just clung to me as if seeking escape from the darkness around us. Should we go home? Serika quickly shook her head. It's okay. We still haven't found any clues about Amy, and I don't want to be in that house. You too, right, Taku? I thought for a second and nodded. For her, that was probably the real reason. Okay, let's go. Serika nodded back, but even in the darkness I could see that her lips were quivering. She was scared. Maybe I'm lucky. What I wanted in this situation wasn't a brave comrade who would boldly go forward with me, but a friend who would shiver pathetically behind my back. No matter what happened, I had to protect Serika. Having her there made me feel better like that. I brought my focus back to what was going on around me and started to softly walk forwards. Oh. Happiness and fun times. Happiness and fun times abound. That's not the first time we've seen that image. It's not a good image. Bodes ill. Bodes ill. I woke up from the usual dream. For once, I hadn't been sweating in my sleep. In fact, I felt better than usual. Okay. I booted up the PC, checked my email, and then loaded all the major newspapers and news sites up at once. Gotta love science. Yeah, science is real good. Science is an adventure, obviously. It was how I usually started my morning. I felt extremely alert. I could probably finish my usual routine in less than an hour. Yeah, that's right. I'm not a kid anymore. I won't give up halfway like I did before. This time, the mystery I needed to solve was right in front of me. Have you ever seen this sticker? On a streetlight? On an abandoned phone booth? On the back of a mailbox? Or on a road sign? You can find them anywhere in town. These strange stickers, which look like two faces, the faces of two fat men overlapping, are called sumo stickers. The first time people started talking about them was back in 2007. They were big enough that at one point people were talking about them on TV. After the 2009 Shibuya earthquake, everyone just stopped talking about them, but lately they've started appearing around Shibuya again. This was found yesterday, for example. Ah, yeah, that definitely happened. At first, these stickers may appear to have been put up at random, but they actually all have something in common. This, this, and this. Ah, so that would be the one at Leaky Noise. Which means whoever's making this has access to his photos. Like, I don't know who's... Well, it's clearly a computer voice speaking, but I don't know who made this, but they have access to his photos. These 3 stickers were found near the sites of the bizarre deaths that the whole city's been talking about. This was put up on the karaoke box opposite the apartment where Don't Look at Me took place. Maybe he did make a presentation, but I don't know. This was put up on a streetlight near Leaky Noise. This was put up on the Love Hotel opposite the scene of Revolving Dead. That's right, all of these were placed near the scenes of the deaths. Some of you may think this is just a coincidence, but Don't Look at Me and Revolving Dead took place on a 5th-story condo and the 3rd story of a Love Hotel. And both of these stickers were placed high up on the 5th and 3rd floors of the building opposite them, as if they were looking down on the scene. Leaky Noise is no different. It was placed on a streetlight looking down over the scene. Is this really just a coincidence? That gives you the option to hide profanity? Cool. Didn't expect that, but cool. Yeah. I mean, great if you don't want to see it. Or has it been there? I don't know. No idea. Who created these stickers? Why are they being put up? And do they have anything to do with all these strange deaths? Turn it off? Yeah, I mean... We'll continue our investigation. Finally. Don't Look at Me took place on September 7th. Leaky Noise took place on September 19th. Revolving Dead took place on September 29th. Have you all noticed that these 3 incidents took place on the same dates as the first 3 New Generation Madness killings 6 years ago? If the sumo stickers have something to do with what's going on in Shibuya right now, then maybe they have something to do with what happened 6 years ago. Don't Look at Me took place September 7th. Okay, it's the same stuff. Views 5. That means no one but us has seen it yet. Tracking the mystery of Shibuya's sumo stickers. Sumo sticker of great atmosphere, laugh or die. Oh, they've apparently made a bunch of memes of the stickers. Sticker of the Tipo, although my Okayata says sumo sticker. It's a Vocaloid. Anything Empire... Oh, it's ESO. They've got ESO on this computer too? Alright. ESO 2, sorry. Well, we haven't had it up for more than 24 hours, but oh, they did make it. Okay. Hey, there's another video tagged Shibuya that's just amateur reporting on those arson cases, and it's got over 100 views. Wait, this video is just a compilation of some rumors off the occult board, and it's got over 3,000. That's how the internet do, yes. If you live in Shibuya, the ghost of the people who died in the earthquake will possess you and give you strange powers. This video got 3,000 views? Yes, it did. You know which boss gave me the most trouble. You know which boss. There's only one boss it could be. There's only one. There's only one. You know exactly which one. Hey, are you listening? Yeah. I don't feel well. Tried my hardest to avoid looking at it directly, but screwed up. Do these stickers creep you out that much? They're really creepy. Well, they're certainly not what I'd call cute. You look at Goro pics all the time, so you're used to this stuff, right? What build did you end up running, Sauce? I went basically pure int, because I had never run an int build before, but because Grim used a ticket on us, we beat the last 3 bosses with fisticuffs, and it worked, but We went in the whole rest of the way. You maniac.
いや
Yeah.
それとは関係ない
I
だ
don't
ろ
know if Potions is still here, but still. No, I don't think that has anything to do with it. Which one? I know Potions may still be around, and I know Potions has not gotten to the points where I was in the game. Potions hasn't finished, so on the off chance Potions is lurking, I don't want to say names. But, you know which boss. I'll go as far as to say it was an optional boss. You don't have to kill them for the story. But yeah, went strength and int. Okay, I didn't go much strength. I really just went int. As soon as I saw that there was a moon, I went, I have to have 70 int now, and so I did. Yeah, you know their name and title, unless you won first try, which you didn't. Maybe you did, I don't know. Here's my head off the desk. Oh, Pots is streaming it now. Okay, then they're probably not lurking here. Of course I had to have crabs. Just miso makes it easy to eat. Snap it in half and enjoy the delicious crab. About the login stop of a person targeted for an account takeover. The president of the company is not 3D. It supports a channel at last summer. Anime channel. Today's guest.
Tasty.
Shinya Saito. Shinya Saito. Is that a broadcast latest info? Light browser RPG. Cacao Night open. 3D anime in Niconia. Enjoy an animated cut. Maloney of the memory. Recreate the thought. Cookie Monster, clearly. Magic boost spell either. There was a magic boost spell? I apparently missed a legendary spell, which was like raining down magic. I apparently missed that. I don't think I ever had a magic boost spell. The spring news video we made up and uploaded to Nukinia last night, the one about the sumo stickers. The thumbnail is a close-up of that sticker. A smaller compressed version of an image on a computer used to allow a viewer to see the image before they click on it. The name comes from the fact that the image is sometimes the size of a nail on a person's thumb. Oh, we're gonna do this again? Okay. Boost magic damage. Thinks Mitz had it. Probably. That's probably how Mitz was doing way more damage than I was. Delicious. Damn it, calm down. It was just a hallucination. You imagined it. You looked again and it wasn't there. Yes, you looked again and it wasn't there. I'm back. Hey, what's wrong, Taku?
Yeah.
Open your third baby eye. Nothing. I mean, for what it's worth, again, barring the last three bosses, we've made it the whole way with just magic. Without that spell. So, like, it worked. I almost jumped out of my chair when the door opened. I turned around and saw Serica frowning. Ah, well, where do we go from here? We got blue, we got red, we got neither. I feel like we're never going to have a neutral answer. That's okay. We'll only go neutral if we need it for an ending. I feel like we'll always have somebody that's going, wants red or blue. Red, shocking. Her hair is red. Yeah, lightish red, but very much still. Then do you do? Oh, it did. Yep, all of my archives. It's all finished now. I even got it in a playlist, so it's all already uploaded. It's a lot of stuff. It's like I think 93.5, 94 hours was where we clocked in at the end of it, but it's all on YouTube. Neutral now at some point. Let's go red. All right, we got 3 for red. So sorry, Sora, you ain't counteracting 3. Neutral's just not having illusions, right? I think so, yeah. Food? You're the one who told me to go buy it. She was right. I'd spent all of lunchtime going around the school taking videos of the preparations for the fair, so I could have this time to use as I pleased. I'd missed lunch. But yep, if you want to watch any of it, it's all up there. The first 3 of them are 10 hours a pop because I played a lot of it. But yeah, it's all uploaded for posterity. What a pain. Here you go, Shin. A ham sandwich and milk coffee.
Oh, thank you.
Cool, thanks. Taku gets a calorie block and a mountain view. No part of calorie block sounds good. I don't know why you didn't get tired of this stuff. Stop hassling me about it. This is the most effective way to get a balanced diet. Okay, sir, you cannot drink a Mountain Dew and even mention the words balanced diet. You're not allowed. You can enjoy a Mountain Dew, but you cannot even imply that it's part of a balanced diet. You can't. Your body will betray you at just hearing it. Hey, wait a second! Ito suddenly became very upset. He slammed his hands down on the table and stood up. This isn't a ham sandwich, it's a... We picked the greatest delusion of all time, guys. This isn't a ham sandwich, it's a tuna sandwich. Really? Look at that face. What the fuck is wrong with you, bitch? Wow, I asked for a ham sandwich. Okay. Dude, that's strange. I'm sure I bought you one. Go get me a new one right now. Jeez, dude, even delusional. Like, back off. What? Who cares? There's not that much difference between a ham. Okay. There's a lot of difference, but I also understand the, like, whatever. Yeah, I mean, some break's coming up, so, like, that'll do it. Like, I still play it. Just, I haven't streamed much of it just because other games keep happening. Like, it's not that I don't want to play Monster Hunter. It's not that any of that. It's just like, they gotta stop putting out other new great games. I did finally now the heckin' Magnum Hollow, though. Which doesn't really show up in the camera well because of the lighting, but whatever. Finally got Magnum Hollow. Huh? The hell did you just say, whore? Wow. Man, this guy's delusions are strong. You don't like tuna sandwiches? They're good. I mean, I don't like tuna sandwiches, but I'd never act like this. No one cares about your goddamn tuna sandwich. Today I feel like a ham sandwich. If it's that important to you, go get one yourself. I was nice enough to get you a sandwich, so there's no reason for you to get mad at me. Because you're the dumb woman who screwed it up. Jeez, dude. Ito, calm down. It's just a sandwich. There's no need to get so upset. Not kind. Yeah, clearly. It's not just a... It is just a sandwich. I tried to move between them, but Ito struck me in the chest. He hit me hard enough to knock me to the ground. What was that for? Shut up, Mayashiro. Nobody cares about your dumb ass. I never liked Onoe's attitude anyway. She always spends her time fussing over you and then making fun of me. I don't think she's ever once made fun of him, at least that we've seen. Do not? What the hell is your problem? God, you're stupid. Why didn't you just slit your wrists and die? Oh, okay. What did you say? So it's going both ways here. Ito ran over to her. Thought he was going to hit her, but he didn't. He put both his hands around her neck and started to squeeze. Anybody's gonna die, it's you, bitch. Go get me my motherfucking ham sandwich. Who the hell wants to eat a tuna sandwich? I will straight up fucking murder you if you don't get me that sandwich. That's a text bubble. That's a text bubble. That's a text bubble that just happened. Ito had totally lost control. He started staring at Serika with bloodshot eyes. Come on, stop it. Why are you fighting over a ham sandwich anyway? You'll end up killing Onoe if you keep that up. Yeah, I think that's the point. Serika moaned in pain. She was flailing her arms and legs and trying to escape his grasp, but he was a lot stronger than she was. Drool oozed out of the sides of her lips. I like how he's trying really hard to stop her from killing her. Stop it, Ito. I said shut up. Try to stop me and I'll kill you too. Happy good times all around. And suddenly, her body started to spasm. Her eyes rolled up into her head and her body went limp. She's dead. Ito let go, and she fell to the floor like a puppet with his strings cut. You're kidding me. I stand by the suplex, yeah. Huh, she's dead. Oh no, it's dead. That's what you get for messing with the ham sandwich. That's what you get. I mean, there's a certain absurdity to this. The suplex was really good. Food can be scary. You say something, Mayashiro?
Yeah.
Like, I hate fish, but if somebody brought me a tuna sandwich instead of a ham sandwich, I'd be like, oh man. That's be the extent of it. Oh no. Ito cocked his head at me a little as he ate his ham sandwich.
それハムサンド
Is that a ham sandwich?
やらないからな
I'm not giving you any.
いやいい
That's fine. I don't want to start any fights.
あ
Huh? As for Serika, she was pestering Kazuki as she played her game. I guess you're right. Straight to homicide. Come on, tell me, Hana. Who are you talking to? Tell me, tell me. She was certainly relaxed. But in the real world, danger could strike at any minute. Like if you'd gotten a tuna sandwich, me, Serika, and Ito could die at any time for any reason. Why was I thinking about something so gloomy while the sun was still out? Was I tired?
なあ、尾上
Hey, Onoe. Ito said to Serika. For some reason, that was enough to startle me.
副部長は
Where's the vice president? Oh, Serika froze. I don't think she'll be here today. She's busy getting ready for the festival. And None's been kind of weird lately. It doesn't look like she's doing too good. I wonder what's wrong, she whispered. But by lately, she probably meant since after Nono met Arimura. They do this occasionally. I wonder if that's like relevant or if it's just the writing style. They occasionally will have like somebody like voice line, voice line, voice line, something they said, but it's unvoiced. I wonder, like, it's happened enough to be noticeable, and I wonder if it's just writing style or if it's something like weird. I guess he's never moved to 2. Ah, true. By lately, she probably meant, oh yeah. It's true that after that, she'd given up on telling me not to follow the case. Either way, thanks to that, I've been able to focus on the case without being interrupted. Since she'd met Arimura, huh?
よし
Okay, we can talk while we eat. Let's get started, Kazuki. Can you close out of ESO 2 for a second? We're going over the info on the case. She's like, no. She's like, yeah, sure. Turns the monitor away, keeps playing. Her lips didn't move, yeah. It's just a little weird enough. She may have been waiting for something to spawn, or maybe she was just at a good stopping point because she quit the game with much less cajoling than I'd expected. In game lingo, spawn is used to refer to the appearance of an enemy in the game on the game field, and waiting for spawn means to wait for that to happen. Kazuki often spends several hours a day waiting for a rare monster to pop, and on weekends she's willing to wait over 10 hours at a time. And she didn't get the hacking TV mount already? Damn, I feel sorry for her. She started to print out data from the PC. Now then, there was a lot of new information, but I'd spent so much time making the video that the board was the same way it had been. It was time to go over it. First, I should start with what I can't put on the map. The space on the right is open. Let's start by putting the stuff that we still don't know a lot about there.
チューブラリン
Her RNG sucks, yeah. Rare Fate Farmer who isn't using the Discord. I mean, that was me, but I just left it up when I was working. What do you mean? You know, like that video.
そうか
I see. Okay then.
よしそんなら
Ito forced himself to swallow what he was eating.
関わりがあるかもし
Let's
れ
put
ない
up
動
any
画は
videos
全
that
部
might
こ
have
こに貼っ
something
ち
to
ゃ
do
おう
with the
ぜ
case here. Yeah, that's the way to go. Video. I do like how it has an actual like investigation feel with the board. Alright, so the video that was uploaded to the wiki was footage of the inside of the Love Hotel room, taken from outside, so... That one. And here's the summary. It's because of this video, isn't it, that I had that weird hallucination. It was just a plain old wipe, so why did it seem so strange? Taku, what's wrong? What's wrong with you? Just listen for now, okay? Okay. Where was I? Ito, they never caught the guy who uploaded the video, right?
ああネット
Yeah,
じゃ
there was
週
a big
末は
festival
かなり
online
祭
over
り
the
になった
weekend,
けど
though,
な
since
テ
it
レ
got
ビでも
reported on
報道され
TV.
てたから
Yeah. That's right. People on the internet like to make fun of TV and newspapers, but the biggest cause of online festivals was mainstream media attention. But there's been no updates, which means nothing new to talk about for 3 days. Is it dying out?
事件が事件な
Given
だ
the
けに
nature of
そう
what
いっ
happened, it
ぺん
won't
には
die
離
out
れてない
fast,
けど
but... Oh,
あ
there was
と
that
週
thing
末
with
に更
Koshin
新
on
が
the
炎上
weekend,
してた
too.
ろ
Huh? Oh no, I didn't know what he meant. Oh, yeah, that thing. Wow, Imagine being so prideful about knowing everything that you couldn't just be like, oh, I missed that, what was it? What do you mean? Koshin's the biggest company involved with the rebuilding work, right? They're also involved with those security cameras going up all over town. Somebody started complaining about how the cameras were invasion of privacy, and this guy at Koshin acted like an arrogant dick. I think there was actually a lawsuit filed this morning. Yeah, that happens all the time. Huh? So people are starting to talk about that. I see, so that was it. People are starting to say that the video was a prank or a fake, and the majority of that think it's real are shutting them down. So it was a self-feeding then. Either way, without fresh fuel, it would eventually have to go out. A word Mayashiro made up. When a festival or flame war on the web lacks fuel to keep it going, sometimes people will appear to point out problems with the existing evidence, which leads to a new flame war. When he sees lots of these, Mayashiro believes it means that an online festival is beginning to wind down. Well, I understand why people would think it's a prank or a fake, but after having been there, I knew it wasn't. That's right, I should put up the video of the room too. Kazuki, can you edit out something from the Love Hotel video for me? Okay, that's all. Now, I guess this too. Ah, their video. Well, why was he putting that up there? Why? You don't need to put the newspaper club's video. That's right, it's creepy. See, even the self-proclaimed girl says so. Why self-proclaimed? We don't know what might be related to the case, right? And these stickers might be the key, right? Maybe, but... Listen, they aren't as creepy as you're making them out to be. Come on, I'm putting them up. He already admitted it. He's putting them up. He's the one who's putting up all the stickers. He admitted it right here. Chapter 2. He admitted to his crime. Damn it. You can only say that because you haven't seen it with its eye open. Well, it hadn't actually opened. Jeez, are you a girl? I'm a guy. Got him. GG. Fine. Officer, that man did it. Did what? Those murders. What's your proof? He said it. There's a lot of sumo stickers on the other images anyway. I shouldn't let it bother me, but I was going to avoid looking at them directly too much. Alright, put what we got on the stickers up on the board, but the long distance shot of the sumo sticker looking down at the Don't Look at Me case was... long distance shot, don't look at me. What's that? Shot of where the sumo sticker was put up. Well, I can see that, but why? Well, I've been wondering ever since I found the thing. How do they get it up there? This is the 4th floor. Couldn't they just open the window and lean out? These windows don't open. Oh, that's right. You went to do karaoke alone, didn't you? It wasn't karaoke alone. I didn't sing. What about the other incidents? Ito ignored my protest and motioned for me to continue. Damn it, it wasn't karaoke alone. Next is Leaky Noise, I guess. Oh, we didn't have a sumo sticker for this one yet. When I go onto the scene 2 days ago on Sunday, I found a sticker on a nearby telephone pole, just like I'd expected. Close-up footage of it is the one I used for the newspaper club video, so... that one. It really was creepy up close. Don't look at it, don't look at it. And the long-range photo of it is... gotta be this one, because that's the Love Hotel, right? Maybe it's that one. 10 minutes over to make up the internet if we don't get a good stopping point. We'll see. No, it's definitely not this. Ah, so that's what happens when you get it wrong. Cool. The long-range photo of it is... Anybody who wanted to could put that sticker up there.
けど
But
回転デ
the
ッドの
long-range photo of the
シール
sumo
の
sticker for
動画
Revolving Dead is... It's this one? And the last one, I guess, is those new stickers that got put up.
これも貼られていたのは外
This
壁
is on
だ
an outside wall, too. There's a window, but it's way out of reach. Yeah, couldn't you stick it on the edge of a long pole or something and push it against the wall? Like a selfie stick, but stickers! Has she already finished eating all that?
いやそれ
Well,
届くだろうけ
You
ど
could, probably, but you couldn't do that at the karaoke box, could you? That... Is that what a burp sounds like? That wasn't the answer I was looking for. I ate a little too much. What if you had a really, really long pole?
こんなことしてたら
They'd see you
一発で
doing
割れる
it.
だろ
Then you could dress up like the building janitor or something. First a long pole and then that? I mean, if Hitman has taught me anything, it's that if you're wearing the right outfit, nobody notices anything you do. Up to but not including killing somebody. Well, it's possible, I guess. They were just blending in with the long pole. Yeah. What's wrong?
なんていうか
It's like, this whole case is so weird, but you're talking about putting stickers on a pole or dressing up like a janitor and rappelling down the side of the building or something.
まあとにかく
I just can't imagine the guy who put them up doing something so
犯人の姿っていう
realistic.
のが想像できなくて
Well, that's if the guy who put them up is the same one behind all the deaths.
いや犯人が貼ってるかど
No,
うかは
we
わ
don't
か
know
ら
if
ない
it's the
だろ
same guy putting them up. And anyway, do we need an actual criminal for this? The cops are saying that all 3 cases are suicides.
でもこっちみん
But
な
they're also trying to find the person who
部
visited the
屋
room
に
right
訪
before
ね
the
てきた
don't
何者
look
か
at
を
me
警
case,
察は追
right?
ってもいるんだろう
And I still felt like there was something on the other side of that, no, someone on the other side of that door.
俺は
I feel like
事
it's a
件の
message
裏
from
側
someone
を
who
知って
knows
る
what's
何
really
者
going
かのメッ
on.
セージな気がするけど
Message?
回転デッドの被害者である
I don't know what
柿田
Kakita
が死ぬ
did,
直
or
前
was doing just
どういう
before
状
he
態だったかわ
died,
からない
but
仮に前の
if he was in some kind of
異
abnormal
常な
mental
精神状
state,
態にあ
like
っ
the
た
last
と
2
したら
cases, then
そ
something
れを
must
生
have
み出す
caused
何
that,
か
like a drug or something.
でそ
Then
の薬
maybe
物の
somebody
謎を
who
知って
knew
る
about
人
the
間が
drug
シ
put
ー
up
ル
the
を
stickers?
何のために
Why?
それは
I don't know, but... What?
お前
What do
は
you
どう
think
思うん
then?
だよ
Huh?
僕は
So what was the deal with those stickers around the crime scenes? Let me think.
力士シールを貼ること自体が目的だとか
Ed Lucas, which means we have a good chance of getting some more English. Ah, true. Maybe putting up the stickers was a goal in and of itself?
え
バットメンは知ってるだろ
You know, Bateman, right? Or Batman, right? Fictional, extraordinarily famous American comic book. Also the name of the heroes in the comic. Launched in the 1930s, and as of 2015, there are many cartoons, movies, and live-action dramas about them as well. That could be anyone. They could be talking about anyone. That could be any comic at all. That's the one where the bat transforms into a giant steel man in a red cape. He shoots out webs. Wow, that just went everywhere. That's the one where the bat transforms into a giant steel man in a red cape. So oh my god, so it's Batman, it's a Man of Steel, it's Spider-Man, I don't know who kidnaps kids. I don't know where they're going with that one. It's just everything. It's just everything. You're crossing over so many superheroes. Yeah, wrong. Batman wasn't any of that. Actually, I think that's about 5 or 6 different comics mixed together. It's Darth Spider, yes. Yeah. Oh, you're right, that's Darth Spider. It's the one where the bat transformed into a giant steel man in a red cape, shoots out webs from his fingers to kidnap kids. That's Darth
普通
Spider.
にジョーカーっていう
No, actually, the thing is, like, in this universe, we know that Darth Spider is Star Wars. It's definitively Star Wars. There's this guy called the Joker. Not even gonna try with that one, are you? It's just the Joker. Just don't capitalize the. He's the bad guy, and he leaves a Joker from a deck of cards at the crime scene as his trademark.
残さない場合も彼自身が
Even if he doesn't leave a card, his face looks like the Joker from the card deck, so either way, he can say, Joker was here. So, what does he transform into when he kidnaps kids? What are you talking about?
なんだ
So, what? A guy who looks like those sumo stickers killed 3 people and made it look like a suicide for fun and then left the stickers there as his trademark?
いや
No, I'm just speaking hypothetically here.
じゃあなん
So,
で直接
why doesn't he put the stickers on the
シールを
bodies?
置かないんだよ
It's just a hypothesis, okay?
そもそも
And why is this all happening on the same days as the New Generation Madness?
それこそ
How would
僕
I
にわかる
know?
わけないだろ
Tried to calm Ito
と
down.
にかく
Anyway,
今の
let's just
情報
go
を
over
まと
what
め
we
ちゃお
know.
う
We can talk
話は
after
それ
that.
から
だな
Yeah.
えー
So it was the Sumo Wrestler
歴
stickers,
史シー
right?
ル
Yeah.
一
There's
つ
been
大き
one
な
big
動きがあ
thing.
ったから
That wall covered in
壁
Sumo
一面
stickers
に
was
貼
under
ら
the
れていた
Shibuya
歴史シ
Bridge,
ールの
so
場所は渋谷のガード下だから
right there, I guess.
でその画像
And the
が
picture is. Yeah, I was about to say, if you make me pick it.
でその概要が
And the summary is.
改めて見ると不気味だな
Sometime between late night on 10 to 2015 Friday and early morning 10 to 3 2015 Monday, someone placed. Why is 10 to Friday and 10-3 Monday? Maybe a translation thing? Someone placed a large number of sumo stickers on the wall of a bridge near Shibuya Station. The criminal's identity and motive are unknown. No announcement was ever made. Sumo stickers have appeared before in several places, but never in these numbers. A fierce debate about the meaning of this incident is being held online. Not sure if a translation issue or plot. The weekend is a delusion, yeah. It's pretty creepy when you take a look at it. Have we ever seen this many at once?
過去の歴史シールの数のピークは
The sumo sticker phenomenon peaked in 2009, before the
その
earthquake,
時でも
but I think
こ
even
んな
then
に
you
箇所
usually
に
didn't
貼
see
ら
this
れ
many
た
in
こ
one
と
spot.
だよな
There was no weekend in Japan. Who? Something, 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 working themselves to death, something, something. A lie we made up to ourselves because of work. I know, right? Yeah, I've never seen anything like this before.
なんで知ってんだ
How would you know? Because, Sarika said as she looked at me, another one.
昔タクト
I
調べた
investigated
こと
them
あ
with
る
Taco
も
a
ん
long time ago.
一つ一つ
We went around
渋
and
谷
looked
に
at
貼ら
every
れてる
single
や
one in
つ
Shibuya, right, Taku?
あ
Yeah, I guess we did.
ちょこっ
That was
と
part of my dark history, though. Net slang, an embarrassing part of your history that you would rather not talk about, and that you wish was forgotten. Its origin can be found in a certain famous giant robot anime. Yeah, we were pretty serious. We said there was a big mystery involved, that it was a conspiracy. Hey, you idiot!
陰謀
A conspiracy? Yeah, I guess everybody's got a dark past. Don't look at me like that.
お前
And if it's a giant robot anime, that means Robotics Note will have it too. You were in 6th grade in 2009, weren't you? Were you into urban legends back then too?
他にも調べたんだよ
We looked
くねくね
into a
とか
lot of other stuff
アポカリ
too.
プ
The
スとか
squirmy
さ
and the
とか
apocalyptic sound. Massive noise of unknown origin that has been heard all over the world. It's unknown whether it's first appeared, but around the year 2011, videos of the sound began to be found uploaded to the internet, some of which were recorded in Tokyo. Many of these videos contain a powerful low-pitched echoing sound, like two pieces of heavy metal scraping together. The name is said to come from a scene in the last book of the New Testament, the Revelation of St. John, Revelation in fact, where an angel sounds a trumpet as the world is about to end. I think that was one in a different game as well, and that is based on fact. How real the videos are, obviously, is questionable, but those are actual videos that people upload. And urban legends that spread via the internet beginning in 2003. Most variations of the story involve people who saw something squirmy, who later experienced strange incidents. The size and description of the squirmy varies, but it's often said to be a white color, and most of the strange incidents end very poorly for those who encounter it. Opinions differ on whether the original story came from an internet message board or a manga, and the debate continues to this day.
とにかくだな
Okay, I knew they'd mentioned it
こ
in
れ
one
を
of
貼
them,
った
I wasn't
人間
sure
はま
which.
だ捕まっていない
Getting back on the point. They haven't caught the guy who put these up yet, right? So, according to Miyashiro, who was
小学6
already
年の時にす
was
でに
already
かわ
a
いそうだ
poor,
った
sad
宮
little
代
boy in
君の
6th
調査に
grade.
よると
What do you mean, I was a sad little boy?
そもそも
We don't know who
歴史シール
created
を
the
生み
sumo
出した
stickers
人間
or
が
why, right?
So-
That's right.
じゃあ
So, isn't it
場合
possible
に
that they're
よっては
involved
そ
in
の
this
人
case
間が
somehow?
一連の事件に関与
可能性は
It's possible.
あると思う
Of course, that was also possible that someone other than their creator was using them. But they'd been at all the crime scenes so far. It just felt like they'd had to be involved.
現状出揃っている
These
歴
are
史
the
シー
only
ルは
stickers
これ
we've
だ
got
けだ
right now, right?
あ
Yeah.
じゃあ今後
Then
の
here's
歴
the
史
next
シール
step.
に関する方針だけど この
I want to put a security camera up at the wall where all these stickers were
監視カメラを
placed.
設置しようと思う。
Huh?
この歴史シール
These stickers really bother me. Part of it is the fact that we've never seen so many of them in one place before, but I guess I need a picture.
カズキ
Kazuki.
カズキ
Kazuki? She was too busy playing ESO2 to listen.
カズキ
Kazuki!
新聞部の
Can you get me the photos of the sumo stickers from around the city we used for that video?
で
So? Sumo stickers all over town.
街
These
中
are
に
the
貼ってあ
stickers
った
that were
歴
put up
史シ
around
ール
town. Compare them to the ones on the
さっきの
wall.
壁一面に貼ら
I
れた
wasn't
歴
going to
史
look
シール
myself,
と比べて
though.
くれ。
I didn't want to feel sick anymore. When I realized this in my room yesterday, I've been staring at them so long I literally felt like I was about to throw up. They're just sumo stickers,
だ
right?
から
じゃあ
Then look at the ones from the crime scenes. Ito took a careful look at the picture I showed him. Oh man, we're getting so many cut-ins. You need to read them. That's true, yeah. They really don't. Oh, so he saw it then.
何？どうしたの？
What is it?
デザインが
The design's different. Ito kept his eyes locked on the image. Heh, surprised? I'm not a sad little boy after all, am I? Okay, time for a lecture.
歴史シールにはいろんな
Yep,
デ
there's
ザインがあ
several
る。
different sumo sticker designs. This has been the case since they
シ
were
ールが
first discovered.
ヒゲがあるのとか
Some have beards, some are crying, some have swollen
頭部
heads.
が
There are
異
a
常に
bunch of
膨ら
them.
んでこのせいで
Because of
オリ
that,
ジナル
nobody
の
knows
歴史
which
シー
one
ル
was the
っていうの
original
は
sticker design.
合議で見ればグラ
In
フ
a
ィティに
sense, these
属
things
す
are
るこういう
graffiti.
行為は
And in graffiti, it's common for someone to copy another person's work, so this happens a lot. Paintings or lettering left on walls or rooftops using spray paint, ink, or other types of paint. Functionally identical in definition to street art. It is said to have begun appearing in America in the 1970s, and in recent years some of its best creators have been recognized as cutting-edge artists. There's an unspoken rule that when painting over existing graffiti, you must replace it with something better, which has aided in the art form's development.
当事者たち以外には
So,
どれが
in
模倣犯の仕業で
that case,
どれが
only
最
the
初に
people
貼った人
involved
間の
know which
仕業
is
か
the
わから
original
ない
and which is the copy, but this time,
事件現場と壁
the
一面
stickers
に
on
貼
the
られ
wall
た
and the
歴史
stickers
シー
found
ル
at the
のデザ
crime
イン
scene
が
match
完全に一致して
completely.
る
じゃあ
And whoever put up the ones at the
現場に貼ったやつと
crime scenes is the same guy who put them up on this wall?
いやそれはわから
No,
ない
we don't know that.
偶然
It
同
might
じ
be a
だけかもしれ
coincidence.
ない
There's some other stickers around
街
Shibuya
中
with
に
an
貼られて
identical
いた単
design.
独の歴史シール
Ito sighed, disappointed.
なんだよ
What?
それ
Then...
じゃ
でも過去
But
に
isn't
例が
it
ない
weird that
と
there's
大
so
量に貼ら
many?
れれば気になる
More than there's ever been. If it is the same guy, then that means this may be
次
where
に
the
事
next
件が起
crime
こる
takes
のがこの
place.
場所だっていう可能性も
And
あ
if
る
we could get a video of it happening, it would be the biggest scoop imaginable.
それは
That's true, I guess, but are you sure about
で
this?
も
But
いい
what?
のか勝手に街
If
中
we
に
put
カ
up a
メラ
camera in the
設
middle
置
of
して
the city
その
without
映像を
permission,
見る
that's an invasion of privacy, right?
要は盗撮
Shouldn't we
だ
at
ろ
least wait until the new gen,
せめて次の
new...
ニュージェネの
the
日
next
付
new
の
generation
10
date
月
on the
10日
10th?
勝手に街中にカメ
This
ラ
is
設
going
置
way
して
beyond
そ
what
の
a
映
school
像を
club's
見る
supposed
っ
to
て
do.
クルスみたいな
Don't
こと
talk
言
like
うなよ
Kurusu.
みたいに言ってんだよ
Excuse me. I am talking like Kurusu. What happens if they catch us? I don't
俺
want
は
to
嫌
get
だ
killed.
からな殺される
Oh, I'm telling you, you're too scared of
の
known,
んちゃんの
right,
こと
Hana?
怖がりすぎだってば。ね。
Yep.
ほら。
See? No, she's clearly not listening.
クルスなら
Don't worry about
大丈
Kurusu.
夫だろ
She hasn't been coming after us lately
なんだか
anyway.
さそうだ
That's
けど
true, but don't pussy out of me, man.
チャンスなんだよ
This is our chance. Our only clue is the sumo stickers, and there's something about those stickers
そ
that's
のシー
bugging
ル
me.
最高の結果になれ
Clearly.
ば
This works out. We can get a clue into what the killer is, who the killer is before the cops do. And the worst that can happen is that we waste our time, right?
無駄骨だ
And the cost of a camera, I guess. Still, Ito thought for a second about something, probably Kurusu.
わかったよ
Fine, you're the club president.
部長はお前だ
The internet is incredible, isn't it just? Alright,
現状でのボード
that's about all we need this board for right now. Hey, this is the first time we've gotten so much use out of the board. Serica looked at all the papers pasted up on it.
確かにな
You're right, till now we
今
haven't
まで
really
は
had to
別
go
に
over
きちんと
everything.
整理するまでもないやつばっかりだったからな
Did I just hear her get upset? Imagine every time you died in a video game, you just punch the wall next to you. I honestly would probably have a hole in this wall by the time I finished Elden Ring. Did she just lose a roll for a rare item or have a kill get stolen? Killsteal, online gaming slang, the act of attacking a monster that another player has already started fighting. Since this can reduce the amount of experience or items earned by the original player, it can often lead to fights. In Japan, it's considered bad manners. Everywhere it's considered bad manners. In ESO2, when a party decides who in the group will get a rare item dropped by the monster, the computer rolls a set of dice for each player. The person with the highest roll wins. ESO2 also allows for different methods of determining loot allocation. Hey, don't do that, Hana. You'll make a dent in the wall. There's a pretty big dent in it already, actually. Ah, so she has been playing Elden Ring. What's wrong? Ito was still looking at the board. Was there something I'd forgotten to go over? Nothing, just... There's a lot of things we don't have answers to, right? Suppose, yeah, that too. Like, why is this happening on the same dates as the New Generation Madness? Or why the sumo stickers are found near the scenes, but not at the scenes themselves? Did you figure something out? No, that's not it. Ito shook his head. Did he? I just realized that because of that, we've got a big leg up on everybody else. Kay from Shibuya News realized the thing with the dates, but... we're the ones to notice the sumo stickers, right? Has that happened before? That's true, yeah. That just means this is our big chance, right? Yeah, if we don't start thinking of it that way, we may miss out. Ito smiled as if he'd gotten over his doubts. So, what's the plan with the camera? We can't use the club's camera. Want to use yours? Yeah, I bought some motion-activated cameras for home security and ended up with an extra, so I brought it with me. It's got a battery long enough to last until October 10th. Okay, should we go right now then? Oh, about that. Can you go by yourself? Huh? What are you gonna do? I'm gonna go talk to Arimura. Yesterday I was too busy with that video and the sumo stickers to do it. Ito looked surprised, then fell silent for a moment. Well, I know there's a lot of stuff you want to ask her, but when we met her last week at the student council room, she, like, I don't know how to say it. She seemed a little strange and imposing. Didn't you think she was scary? Yeah, I could tell what Ito was trying to say. Yunai Amura had been a cheerful girl, at least when she was talking to Kurusu. But the second I brought up the Love Hotel incident... So you were the Hekiho student who came to the room. Everything about her changed, and she specifically wanted him to say it. Which is very specific. Voice was flat and emotionless, telling me nothing about what she was really thinking. And the obvious... Why even subtitle it? We know what she said. Yeah, the out loud bit is weird. Like, he clearly agreed and affirmed, but she was like, you have to say the words. She told you something back then, didn't she? Does that have something to do with it? Yeah. It's not like she needs proof. No, nothing. She didn't say anything. Haha, you're a bad liar. Ito's thoughts, on the other hand, were extremely easy to follow. He didn't believe a word I said. Well, whatever. You two were the ones who were in the room with her. Does make it weirder, yeah. He must have come up with some probable answer that satisfied him. But can you go by yourself? You know you're going to end up tripping over your own words. It's true. Oh, I'll go with him. Taku, you're not used to Arimura yet, are you? Shut up. I would just get a little nervous. Yeah, she knows, which is why she's offering to help you. What?
Yeah.
Nothing, just, you know, you two were together all the time. We're not. Just she and I. Hmm? She and I have been friends for our whole lives. Huh? What are you trying to say? You know what he's trying to say. Just like you to freak out, but still not deny it. Huh? You really aren't a normal. But what did you say? Anyway, you and Onoe can handle Arimura. Okay. Hey, wait, and me and Kazuki. Good luck. She says a huge swarm of enemies just popped up and killed her. An MPK, maybe. Short for monster player kill. The act of luring a monster to another player and causing the monster to attack and kill them. This is considered seriously bad manners. Man, hunters used to be able to do that in WoW. Used to be able to just draw a bunch of monsters towards somebody, feign death, and just watch them just die. They still would have to hit them, but a lot of people would see somebody struggling with a bunch of monsters and be like, oh, let me help. And then the hunter would just feign death and they'd all just converge. And it's like, I've made a mistake. No, wait a second.
どの道
Kazuki's not the type to do anything outside the club anyway, is she?
活動するやつじゃないだろう
じゃ
Lives to their
あ
fates. Yeah, oh
俺
man.
がカメラ
Yup.
担当で
Oh, I hate that. Then I'll handle the camera myself. Okay.
行ってきます
See you later. Oh, the level 5s. Bye. Ito silently took the bag with the camera in it from me and said,
せちがれ
Some guys have all the luck. With those mysterious words, he disappeared into the hallway. What's wrong with Shin?
わからん
No clue. Oh, hey, look, a scene change. Look at that. It'd be a shame if I, saved the game here or something. There you go. Perfect. It's a perfect scene change. Oh, man. Bo's just great. Level 5's dragged into a fate where everybody's AoEing, especially when I've got threat buff on and I'm the tank and don't have a healer because I just go in there solo. Sucks. Sucks. Also, next explode, I'm like, why did I die? It's like, yeah, people brought level 5s. And nobody healed. Yeah. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching. Sorry we had that little hiccup at the start, but it got better. Weird, but hey, the restart fixed it, so whatever. We got to chapter 2. We still haven't seen an opening, but we got to chapter 2. We heard the baby crying eye-opening scene, which he saw and then went, no, that didn't happen. Which to me says they're watching him. I mean, the fact that we saw that text message log where they mentioned him by name, they're watching him. Why? That I got no answer for yet, but like, someone is watching him. Huh. Tomorrow we're playing Hitman. Technically we're playing Hitman 2, but we're playing the Hitman 1 levels in it, so we're playing Hitman, whatever. Tuesday we're playing Horizon Zero Dawn. No, Horizon Forbidden West, sorry. Also Amy from the text, yeah. Thursday, Potions and I are going to be killing Chaos. Friday, I don't know yet. Not sure what Friday is going to be. Probably Horizon, but I don't want to set it in stone. Saturday, we're playing Guilty Gear. Testament will be out by then. Technically, Testament's out in a few days, but Saturday is still the better day for it. For me. So everyone's going to have some time to practice Testament before I just don't. But Saturday is going to be Guilty Gear, Sunday is going to be this. So we got everything but Friday set. It's probably Horizon, but I don't know. It's not set in stone. For now, we got ourselves a monster, a quote, a Discord. Oh, damn it. That's me. I started the bot, but I didn't hit play on it when we did the full computer restart. That one's me. We got a monster and Discord. There we go. And yeah. Hope everybody had a good heckin' time on this one. And we got a K2, just cuz, you know. Thank you all for tuning in, thank you all for watching. This has been Vipers of Viperland, and I'll see you all next time. Oh, and hold on, we also had the heckin' Mitz dropping bits. The extra shoutouts to Mitz for dropping the greatest of all bit notifications on us. The one, the only, the Blend W. Top tier. Such a catchy and good mashup. Holy crap. But yeah, see you all next time.